morning.
Good morning to you.
Stu just said morning, kids. That's good. I feel
I like that. That'll do.
Like that.
Give me a boost for the morning.
He could have said good morning, pensioners with me. But anyway, good morning. I'm Shaun. This is the wonderful Bex. Stu, by the way, the invisible Stu, is the guy that does all the technical things. We're live. It's in the shed. And we're live for the next 3 hours. Loads of brand new products today.
Oh,
loads.
yeah, loads. Bit of a focus on roses as well this week. I was going to say this year. I meant this week. We've got potted roses. We've got bare root roses. We've got collections of roses as well. So if you want multiples, you get really good value there. But we've also got, bedding and bulbs and things like that as well.
And actually, I'm going to tell you right now because we are really excited about this. How would you like to be able to buy Rose of the Year 2025?
Hang on a minute, but we're not in 2025 yet. What are you talking about?
We've actually got, we already know what the Rose of the Year is next year, and we have got stock today, and she is a beauty, isn't she?
She is an absolute beauty. She's very similar to one I've got already, actually, but look at that! Creamy, gorgeous, yellow centre, pink-tipped edges. She's an absolute stunner.
She really is. And only $14.99. So if you want, it's the Rose, brand new, is You're My Everything. A bare root, saving $7.50, $14.99. The RRP is $26.49.
That's a great price as well, considering that is Rose of the Year 2025. And we're giving you a massive discount on that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and she really is a beautiful, beautiful rose. We're going to tell you more about the Rose of the Year 2025. But this is YouGarden. We've got her first. You can be one of the very first in the UK to actually order her and get her planted. And now is a great time to plant bare root roses. We've got quite a few, not just roses on the show, so don't worry if you're not into roses, but also we have got a very appropriate free gift.
Yeah, so it's the Rose Bloom Booster. It's an annual feed for your roses. It's natural, it's organic, it's got all of the goodness that your roses are going to need. But if you're not into roses and you're not going to buy a rose today, don't worry, that free gift will still work for other plants in your garden as well. It's great for feeding shrubs too. And
it does have mycorrhizal in there. We talk about that a lot. So that, if you are planting anything and you want its roots to develop really quickly, mycorrhizal is in there. But all of your main nutrients, your N, your P, your K. And if you are thinking, how much is that? It's enough to really plant 4 roses.
Yeah.
Or if you want to maybe use some to plant roses, then to feed them next year, you can use it for that as well.
Yeah, and if you've already got roses in your garden, it's not just when you plant them. You could sort of top dress and just dig it into the soil a little bit, and that will feed your existing roses too.
So how do you get your free gift? Well, if you are new to our live stream, basically you'll see an offer code appear on the screen throughout the 3 hours, and this week is YGTV 4524. That is the offer code. And what that does, it'll get you free gift. It automatically then puts your free gift in your basket. But also any other promotions, we might have like a buy one get one free. We might have half price offers, big discounts.
All the savings that you can see on the screen right now, that saving of £7.50 that's on the screen, that is unlocked by entering that code in.
The other thing, you will see 2 different prices on the screen. So the one in the red is for that rose, the Rose of the Year 2025 is $14.99. But if you are one of our 45,000 club members, you get a 10% discount. Your price comes down to $13.49. You can become a member today. It's really expensive.
It's not.
Oh, it is. To become a member, honestly.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, I was rehearsing for my panto last night. So it's £5 for the year on auto renewal, and you can, of course, cancel at the end of 12 months. So it is incredible. I mean, a lot of people join the club as they place their first order and get the money back instantly, basically. So if you want to join the club, do it today. There's loads of benefits. You get £20 worth of vouchers. You get 10% off all the, plants and compost and pots.
Yeah, and it's not just on the things that we bring into the potting shed, because obviously you can shop the entire YouGarden website, where there are thousands of products available. You can use that code on anything that you order. You'll still get the free postage over £40. You might unlock some sneaky little savings that we didn't even know about.
So yeah, it's great to join the club. And what we really love, Bex and I, we love it when you're part of the show. That's what really makes it special for us.
I forgot to get the iPad. I'll get the iPad.
This is it's a gardening community, and we really believe with YouGarden, gardening is for everybody. It really is. So whatever type of garden you've got, whatever level of skill you've got, we are here to help. If you've got any questions on the plants, Bex and I, between us, we should be able to answer. Occasionally, if we don't know the answer, we'll consult our head gardener. Stu sometimes
I know.
chips in now.
Stu Hugh's learning so much about plants, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's learning so much.
Yeah, he's an academic gardener, he's saying. So, but do be part of the show. Now, you can email us, ygtv@yougarden.com. You can be part of the live chat on YouTube or, of course, on Facebook as well. And don't forget, if you're watching us right now on a tablet or a phone, if you've got a smart TV with YouTube and you're thinking, I want to watch Shaun and Bex on the telly, then all you need to do is go to your smart TV, find the YouTube app. Chances are it will already be on there. Most smart TVs and modern TVs, it's on there along with your Netflix and your Amazon and everything else. Just go to YouTube and then type in YouGarden and this will come up like that. And all the other shows come up as well.
Yeah,
So,
they do. You can go back and watch any of the other ones. Good morning to Neil, who's going to be dipping in and out as normal as it's a Thursday.
We know that, Neil.
Excuse me, and also good morning to Elaine, who is also saying that it is a fantastic membership to be a part of.
Oh, thank you, Elaine. Elaine's one of our very, very valued customers, as is Neil, and everyone, all of you, lovely people watching right now. You are truly, Bex and I truly, we respect the fact that you come and watch us every week, but we see you as friends, and we just love you being part of the show.
We
really
do, definitely.
And we really appreciate you watching. Right, we have got a deal of the week, and Elaine got this. Was it last year?
I think it might have been last year, yeah. It's something I've got in my garden as well, although I'm going to admit I have given a couple of them to friends. But it is a fantastic collection here. We have got the Rose Patio Standard Collection. It's 4 bare roots of these particular roses, and you're getting the 4 colours. You're getting the beautiful pink, the gorgeous red, the stunning yellow, and the impeccable white.
They are absolutely beautiful. And you know what? Let's be honest, Bex. When they arrive, they don't look a lot.
No.
Because they arrive, and I'm just going to show this because I'd hate you to be disappointed, but they arrive really tightly wrapped. And the reason they're tightly wrapped is just to keep the moisture in during transit, and it makes them easy to be packed. So they don't look a lot when they're wrapped up. And then you separate them up, and you see that you're getting a little bit more than you thought. But actually, it's what they do and what they become. Because even in their first year, so next summer, these will be balls of roses.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with how many you get within that first year. I don't know, Stu, have you still got the video? He's getting it. Bless him. Yeah, I was so impressed because I got these, it's 2 years or so ago now, and I planted them in, I think it was around January time I planted them. And that is, honestly, first year.
I mean, it's amazing.
First year, that was in about June time, I think it was. You can see how many clusters of flowers there are, but also how many buds there are on that rose there. That was just outside the front of my house when I filmed this. And it just kept flowering all summer long. I was so impressed. And all 4 of them did exactly the same.
And they, with them being standards, I mean, the top has been grafted on that, excuse me, that tall stem. It just creates the most beautiful look. And what you can do, you can underplant those. So in summertime, you might want to put some begonias or some busy lizards under there. But the value is incredible. And all you need to, when you get them home, Bex and I always say, give them a good drink. So put them in a bucket of water, do it overnight. Personally, you can put them in beds and borders, but I do think they're great in pots.
Yeah, I kept mine in pots, to be honest with you. I think they're perfect pot plants. It means you can move them around as and when you want to. So obviously during the summer months, they look their most amazing and they flower freely with hundreds of these gorgeous little clusters of roses on there. But then, in the wintertime, when they're not looking so good, you can move them, you can hide them away.
Well, if you want to go for them today, I mean, it works out. For club members, about £8 each? It's really good value. And they're 530-199. So that's how we're going to start the show. That is the deal of the week. And remember, use the offer code YGTV4524. By the way, you can buy those roses individually. If you want a specific colour, if you're thinking, I want 2 of the pink or 2 of the white, but you will pay a lot more. So the value is to go for all 4 and go for the deal of the week. You might want to double up. If you do like pairs and symmetry, you could go for 2 deals of the week. Yeah. You'd have loads of those roses, and they'll be flying all summer long for many, many years to come.
Well, that'd be a great gift to give to somebody as well, then, to be honest with you. If you potted them up, looked after them over the winter time, and then when they start to leaf up and bud up in the springtime next year, they'd be a wonderful gift.
Yeah, they really would. Now, on this part of the show, we're going to show you different roses, but also different ways of buying them. So we've got bare roots, a bit like the ones you've just seen, but we have got potted roses, both climbing and shrub roses.
And there's more available as well, to be honest with you. We have got a focus on roses for the show today. So if you want to have a look at all of the roses we've selected, you just need to go to the website, yougarden.com, click on the show page, scroll down, and then you'll be able to see all of the roses we've got.
But in terms of value, we have got 2 bare root collections right now. You get 5 roses, and wait to see the price. One's a hybrid tea, and one is named after Bex. It's the Glamour collection.
They specifically named it after me.
They did. That's what I believe, anyway. But the value on both of these is incredible. So should we start with the Glamour? Because Bex's Glamour Roses, $14.99 for 5.
Yeah, 5 varieties included in here. And they are amazing varieties. You've got a mixture, actually. So you could get some Floribunda, you could get some hybrid teas included in here. But they are absolutely stunning. And you're getting named varieties too. So in the centre there's the Arthur Bell, which is the gorgeous yellow one, which I have in my garden. It is a beautiful one. You've got a really stunning Queen Elizabeth pink in there as well, which was nominated World's Favourite Rose, named for our late Queen, obviously, for her coronation in 1954.
Looking at the Pascali.
Pascali, yeah. Again, that was another World's Favourite rose as well. That one's the Arthur Bell again.
That's a really popular one, isn't it?
It is. It's stunning. You've got the Queen Elizabeth red, and you've also got the Peace one, which is the lovely sort of orangey, peachy one down there too. 3 out of those 5 roses have been Rose of the Year at different times. Absolutely, yeah.
So you think about that. So these, I know we've called it the Glamour Rose Collection, but to me, this is the named rose collection. It's some of the world's favourite roses. And when you think they work out £3 a rose.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, and you've got, as Bex was saying, big names like the Peace Rose, Arthur Bell, Pascali, Queen Elizabeth Scarlet. They are amazing roses. And we are talking about quality, very similar to those roses that you'll see in the big flower shows, in the garden centres, but at a fraction of the price.
Yeah.
And actually, Bex, here we go.
It's just on the floor there, yeah. But we opened them up. So
can I just show this, by the way? Sorry. No, can I just show you this? So Bex,
his back's fine. Watch
this.
Bex
Bex has just said the roses on the floor. Watch this. If you remember me last week, I could not have done this. So hang on, the roses on the floor, Bex. Let me just get those for you. There we go.
Hey,
look at that. How was that?
Jumping up. Look at that.
Seriously, I'm so pleased. I had a really bad back for a few days and it's just gone. So, I'm making the most of it.
So this is how...
That would have been so funny had it just gone again.
Yeah.
I shouldn't jest. I now really have sympathy for anybody that's got a bad back because it's pretty bad.
Horrible,
so that's how the arrival of that. And again, because they're so tightly packed, and that's to keep the moisture in during transit, you don't realise how much you get. But when you separate these, look at those.
Yeah. Really good quality, good, healthy root system on there. And it is something that you need to do something with, fairly soon. You don't want these to dry out, so you don't want to leave these sitting around for ages. They have got the coloured tags on there so that you know which one is which is important if you're particularly planting it, certain colours in certain areas of the garden. It's one that you're going to soak again, so any bare root, you want to give it a really good soak before you plant, potentially overnight, but certainly I would say at least 3 or 4 hours before you plant them. And then just plant them into pots, plant them into borders, easy peasy then, and then next year it's going to start budding up, you're going to start getting all those flowers on there, and it'll just keep getting better year after year.
Yeah, and roses, I mean, nowadays they are very disease resistant. They're very easy to grow. They're long lived, of course. Ideally, most roses do like a sunny position, so as many hours of sunlight possible.
A good 6 hours, really.
Yeah. They'll survive with less, but they just won't produce many flowers and they just won't look very happy. So as much sun as possible. And remember, you are getting your free gift today, which is the Ultimate Rose Bloom Booster. And what that's going to do is give every one of these bare root roses the best possible start to life. So as you're potting them up, just sprinkle some of that in there. It's got mycorrhizal, that will help the root growth, but you've also got your nitrogen, your phosphorus, your potassium, and all your trace elements. So honestly, I used to always buy potted roses, and then once I discovered bare roots, and you're the same, you just think, well, it's a minimum amount of effort to get huge savings and maximum results. Yeah,
and it's very easy to plant a bare root rose. It's very similar to planting a potted rose. There's the only extra step really is to soak the roots before you do it. Otherwise, it's exactly the same process.
And the only other thing, so I don't know if you just said this, Bex, because I was busy showing off my
Your agile
agile back.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you can put some organic matter in there, we've got things like the professional horse manure or our premium compost. I just use our compost normally. Just put a bit of that in the root. If you put them in the ground, in the rooting hole, and it just, you know, will give them, again, a great start to life. So they are amazing. I mean, these are named roses.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy roses at the supermarket for maybe, you know, it's about, I don't know, £7-8 each. But you look and you think, oh, I don't know that one. They are really well-known roses. So I think the name's wrong. I know they're all glamorous roses, but to me they're world-famous roses.
Indeed, yeah, award-winning. Awards of garden merit included in there. World's favourite roses included in there, and a mixture of floribunda and hybrid tea. So floribunda are the ones where you get clusters of roses. Hybrid tea are the ones where you get a single stem, single rose. And the hybrid teas tend to be larger flowers than the floribundas.
Yeah. But it really is a wonderful collection. And look at the price today, $14.99 or $13.49 if you can remember. Hey, all of you watching right now, if you're in the group chat, let me know what you think about this collection. Have you got some of these roses? Have you got a particular favourite? We would love to hear from you. And then the other one that we've got, which is equally as beautiful, is the hybrid tea collection. And as Bex was just saying, the hybrid teas is when you get that big single rose on one long stem. So that's ones that the florists mostly use.
Yeah, I mean, these are great if you like your cut flower displays. You can do cut flower displays with floribundas, of course, but you know when you buy your Valentine's roses and things like that, they are hybrid teas because they're single stems.
I never buy them, I only receive them, Bex.
Of course. I completely see that.
That was a complete lie, by the way. But yeah, these are, I mean, when you get that single rose on a long stem, they just look really, really beautiful, don't they? So all of these are hybrid teas. I remember my mum teaching me that when I was a child, actually, because we used to have a rose garden at front. Is there a way of remembering it? It's a hybrid tea.
Stu's making up rhymes. Hybrid tea, one flower only.
That's good. I know that would stick.
Sort of works.
Yeah. To be honest, you don't need to know. But if you just like, you know, as Beck said, if you really like roses as cut flowers, a hybrid tea tends to be a better cut rose.
They do tend to have slightly more fragrance to them as well. So if you're into your rose fragrances, hybrid teas do tend to be more fragrant. But these are going to give you non-stop flowers for months on end. So we are talking they will start in around May time. We say May to October, but sometimes it's a little bit longer than that. Certainly my Arthur Bell was giving me a rose the other day, you know, middle of November, and it's still giving me roses now. So yeah, months and months worth of flowers, repeat flowering. You know, Shaun hinted on the, you know, disease resistance, and this is something that I never used to have roses in my garden because I remember them being, when I was growing up, I just remember them being tricky and hard to look after, and you have to really be on it with the disease thing, and that's why I avoided it, because I was like, it's just too much trouble. But actually, modern breeding means that we have amazing disease resistance to the roses that we bring you.
And the only thing we will say is just keep them fairly well watered over the winter. I mean, you probably don't need to worry too much because we do tend to get a lot of rain.
We're in Britain.
You know, you never know. We might soon have a dry month, you never know. But now is a brilliant time to plant your bare roots because the ground is still soft, it's still warm, you can get them really well established for winter. But the value, again, you get 5 for $14.99, works out £3 a rose. But we like to bring you world firsts, and we like to bring you exclusive deals here at YouGarden. Would you like to have Rose of the Year 2025?
Yes, please. Yes, please. I would definitely like that rose.
I mean, this is a big thing, isn't it?
Look at this rose as well. It's one of the most beautiful that I've seen. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is a hybrid tea rose as well, so you're going to get those beautiful long straight stems on there. It's got a lovely fragrance too as well. It's supposed to be a very light sort of fruity fragrance, and actually this one has slightly more compact growth to it, so it might mean that it's much better for keeping in a large pot rather than putting out in borders. You could still put in a border, absolutely, but because it just grows a little bit more compact, you could keep this in a pot.
I mean, imagine the kudos being able to say to your gardening friends, I've actually I've got Rose of the Year 2025.
Yeah, and it's
I've got it already.
It's only 2024.
I know.
Yes, please.
I mean, you're getting a head start.
Yeah.
And such a beautiful, beautiful rose.
I love the colour combination on
do.
here because it's a sort of creamy yellow rose, but then it sort of fades out, and then you get this sort of vivid pink tips to the petals on there, and loads of petals. Plus, it's got these lovely yellow stamens in the centre, which are particularly attractive to wildlife as well. So, pollinators coming into your garden are going to love these.
And we don't know exactly how the judging works and how roses are given awards, but. It will have been a very lengthy process, I would have thought, and there would have been steep competition. And it's called You're My Everything. I mean, look, next year this is going to be huge. We know that already. And Peter McDermott, who's our head gardener here, he's got lots of connections in the rose world, for want of a better expression. He really has. So we have managed to get this right now. Again, let us know if you're ordering it. We'd love to know, wouldn't we?
I'm betting that this is going to end up on our favourites table by Sunday. That's That's my sort of. I'm putting it out there right now.
I'm definitely buying it.
Are you?
Yeah. Do you know what I might? Oh, actually, no. I don't think she's watching this morning. I'm just thinking I might buy a few of these, pot them up, and then give one to my mum. I was thinking maybe I could give it on Mother's Day. I mean, I know it will, probably only just be coming into leaf.
Yeah, but the fact that it's called You're My Everything, definitely. What a lovely gift.
Yeah, oh, it's fabulous. 540-281 1499. Wow. It's exciting, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, also, when we got our brief, we call it brief, got notes about the show through a few days ago, and I just couldn't believe it, could you?
I know.
And I mean, my eyesight's not as good. I was like, hang on, does that say 2025? I was like looking at notes, it's like as you get older, I was like, yeah, I think that says 2025.
Was it a typo? Did they mean 24?
No, it's 2025. Right, we're going to move on. Because, don't worry if you're not into your roses, and I think every garden should have some roses, but we have got loads of other plants coming up. But we have got the iceberg rose right now. I know my mum had this in her last garden, and I just love the white of this, because most of the time the roses are pure white. You might get, I know in the sunshine they can sometimes go ever so slightly pink, but there's definitely a pure white to them as well.
Yeah, 100%. And we've been talking a lot about white flowers in the garden, haven't we, of late? Because the thing is, white just goes with absolutely everything. Doesn't matter what kind of colour scheme you've got in your garden, you can put white in there and it won't look out of place. In actual fact, it will highlight all of the other colours, that you put in your garden.
I mean, even those two next to each other, the You're My Everything, the rose of the year 2025, and the iceberg, those next to each other, they both pop, don't they?
Yeah, it really makes them both stand out gorgeously. So this is definitely one to add into your garden. It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well, so it tells you that this is garden worthy. It's been through all of those robust trials and tests that the RHS put these things through and been given that award. So it's fantastic.
And it generally means that it's very reliable in pretty much any garden in the UK.
And supposed to be a little bit more compact as well, again. So, another one, I think similar sort of growth as You're My Everything as well. So another one that if you wanted to, and you're into your container gardening, you could keep this in, it would need to go into a slightly larger pot, but for sure you could have this in a pot as well.
I mean, imagine that as a cut rose in the home as well. That's going to, I think white is always, it's so pure and beautiful, isn't it?
Love a white rose.
And then we have got the Paul Scarlet. Now, this is new to me. I didn't know this one, I'll be honest.
It is. It's not one that we've brought before, definitely. It is a climbing rose as well. So, I haven't got a climbing rose yet, but I do fancy at the back of the house, getting a climbing rose going up there. And it's classic, isn't it? It's a beautiful red rose. And when you think of a rose, the first thing that comes into your mind, certainly mine, is a red rose, isn't it? Obviously, there's so many different colours, but this is romantic.
No, again, I've got a plan of having some climbing roses. I want a pergola and I want roses growing up the front. So I've got it all planned. And quite often with climbing roses, you go for pair and you have one either side of an archway, things like that, so they meet in the middle. But this will flower all summer long for many, many years. And so if you've got an archway, well, maybe you've just got a really ugly wall and you want to cover it, and you just put a trellis up there and get this to climb. Again, loves a sunny spot. Oh, we've just heard, by the way, from Elaine.
Ah, well done, Elaine. You're going to go for the rose of the year, the You're My Everything.
And you are.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
We love you, Elaine, because you're always there for us. And do you know what? what's been lovely? Elaine was one of the very first customers who bought from YGTV, and she was just really sort of beginning her gardening journey to some degree, and we've loved seeing how Elaine, you some of the pictures you send in are amazing. So the progress Elaine's made with her gardening has been great, hasn't it?
We're not lying when we say we want to see your pictures, honestly, and that's one of the sort of success stories as to why we love seeing them.
It fills us with joy, and I really mean that. I just feel very grateful to be here with YouGarden, with Bex, with Stu, and with you lovely, say, viewers watching right now.
Good morning to Roger and Angela as well, who are on Facebook watching right now too.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. But I'm really pleased that Elaine's gone for them. I'm going to buy it, Elaine, definitely. Yeah. Just don't know whether I'm going to go for... I don't know. I'm definitely going to go for one for me and one for my mum, but I might go for a pair of them. Well,
for your climbing rose, you definitely need a red rose, I think.
I just haven't got the pergola.
You haven't got the pergola yet.
No. I'll be honest, I can't afford it. I've had a look. I'm next year, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, to go for the Paul Scarlet, because it is on a half-price deal right now, so if you do want to go for the pair, as Shaun was saying, so that you can get them to meet in the middle, actually you're going to get two for the normal price of one, which is beautiful, isn't it? It's quite a vigorous grower, so, this one's one of the sort of taller varieties. It'll get to probably close to between 3 and 4 metres, in actual fact, that you can get this to climb to. And the top tip when you're doing a climbing rose is to not just let it go directly upwards, actually try and train the stems to go sort of to snake upwards.
Yes.
Let it go sort of left and right and train it to go like that, because actually what you're doing then is you're restricting the sap, it sends out new shoots, and then ultimately you're going to get more foliage and more flowers, which is what we want, isn't it? So get it to go like this rather than straight up.
Bear in mind, this is a potted rose. I'm not being funny, but I'd expect this to be a bare root at that price.
Yeah.
It isn't. So it's already been grown in a pot, so it's a bit more well established. In a 3, you might get a 4 litre pot. It sometimes varies, but it wouldn't say quite a rose.
Loads of stems coming off there as well. So that just tells you the quality of the roses that you're getting. Plenty of stems, which means you're going to get lots and lots of flowers.
Good morning to everybody. That's a little taste of some of the roses. There's a lot more on the show. We'll try and get to them live, but we have got some really unusual ones for you, including this one.
Oh, yes. And we've had a few pictures from customers on these who have actually got hold of these previously. It's been a very, very popular one in the past. It's the oranges and lemons, which it's stunning, isn't it, when you get those multiple colours. It's caused by something called a jumping gene, which actually was a problem previously, but now it's purposely bred into the roses to give us this delightful colour mix.
And it does mean that every single rose is unique. You never get to the... And some will be more yellow. In fact, some might be totally yellow. Some might be that total sort of orange, and then many will be a mixture of both. It is a floribunda rose, so you get many, many roses on say, multiple stems there. But we've seen some great images of that this year. 53249 for the oranges and lemons. Then we have got, now this is unusual, it's called the Black Baccarat, and it's as close to a black rose as you could possibly get. I mean, certain lights it will look black, other sort of like lights, there you go, it will look a little bit more sort of burgundy or chocolatey, but a very dramatic rose. And actually, if you were buying that with the iceberg, that would look really wonderful, wouldn't it? Ooh,
gorgeous colour combination, yeah, definitely.
53317 at 14.99, the MRP 22.49. So we've got the giggles still with Bex.
We have indeed.
We're in a good mood. And then abracadabra.
I want to reach out and grab you.
Who sang that?
I don't know who that was.
Let us know at home. Who was it? It's some... Go on, let us know in the chat who sang Abracadabra. I want to reach out and grab you.
Oh, that's annoying. It's
now again,
as well.
This is another one that has that jumping gene, so every rose is a little bit different.
Yeah, and it's a stunning one, isn't it? It's definitely a standout variety. I think this one, I don't know, would you mix it in with other ones, or would you have this as a standalone?
No, I think I'd have it standalone.
I think I would as well.
It's beautiful.
I remember, roses have been bred, and we often talk about this, but they don't have the problems that they used to have, They do have amazing disease resistance. They're much easier to grow than I ever realised. The pruning is dead simple as well. Like, there's some rules you're supposed to follow, but to be perfectly honest, you don't really have to. They're just quite vigorous, aren't they?
No, they really are. Now, the great news is we've already found out who sang Abracadabra. It was a Steve Miller Band. Who got that, Stu, was it? Guys in Norfolk, thank you so much, because that was bugging me. That really was. I was like, who was it? Anyway, yes, thank you for that. We appreciate it. Right, this is what we call our favourites table, because all of the plants on this table have maybe been favourites in the past, or they're proving really popular on the website this week. And we've got a beautiful selection of autumn and winter bedding from Pansy Cool Wave. We've got some wallflowers. We've just got such a good price on the Bloodgrass, the Red Baron. We thought we'd have to show you that. And then we've got some really nice bulbs down there, Bex.
Yeah, lovely collections going on there. So something for everybody on this table, for sure. And what we do specialise in here at YouGarden is, well, everything gardening, but everything that you should be doing in your garden right now. That's what we bring you, or things that are going to look good in your garden at this time of year. So we've got our winter bedding, we've got our spring bulbs, and we've got an amazing price on this.
Yeah.
And no, I have not planted my bulbs yet. I know I said I was going to do it. I will. I still got time. I still got plenty of time. It's fine.
Look, November's
a great time for
and
planting.
actually, with climate change,
especially this year,
I was going to say it's warm. There's nothing wrong with planting bulbs right now. They really isn't. I've still got some to plant. I've done the pub garden, done quite a lot of my mum's, but it doesn't bother me. I did leave some bulbs. Was it February I planted, or the end of January last year?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, they weren't great.
No. I think by end of November, that's when I'd like to make sure I've got them in the ground.
Yeah.
Maybe trickling into early December, but basically my timeline is by the end of November.
And by the way, at the moment, our delivery is always good, but at the moment, because we're nowhere near peak season, delivery is really fast.
Really fast at the moment, yeah.
So, you might even place an order today and get it tomorrow or the day after, but yeah, delivery is pretty fast right now. Bear that in mind. So if you wanted to plant your bulbs at the weekend, chances are you'll be able to do that. Right, should we start this side then?
Yeah, let's start with those Pansy Cool
Oh,
Waves.
Hang on, Bex.
Go on.
You see, my back is so good. Can I bring in that hanging basket that's got these in?
Yeah, do
I'm just going to excuse me.
Absolutely, I'll tell them about it. So the deal that we've got here is a buy one, get two free. So you were going to put one of these into your basket and use the code, and these other 2 packs here, 20 of them, will be absolutely free. See, look at that lonely little flower there. It's got one of their lovely faces on as well. Pansy Cool Wave is one of the best when it comes for flowering displays. Do you want to show it, Shaun?
Yeah,
bring it in, come on.
Look at this. So that shows you.
Whoa!
I mean,
that's what those are going to turn into.
Yeah, so please don't think, that picture, it's not real, it's exaggerated. And bear in mind, it's only November.
Yeah.
November the 6th, is it today? It must be.
6th.
Yeah.
Or 7th.
So, yeah. Oh, no,
7th.
7th, isn't it? That looks amazing, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm going to leave that. I'll just leave it down there, I think.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, seems like I can bend and lift so well.
You get flowers for such a long time on these as well. So a lot of people treat them as annuals, and that's absolutely fine. Certainly at this price, you definitely can treat them as an annual. Grown for 1 year, get rid of them. But actually, they are perennial, and you can get them to flower for up to 10 months of the year. Like Shaun was saying, the weather conditions are still quite favourable at the moment. It's still quite warm, so these are going to be absolutely fine. Get them planted, hanging baskets, round the edges of pots, window boxes. I mean, hanging baskets, they look absolutely gorgeous, but they are ready for you to plant out and give you gorgeous displays.
Yeah, and the fact that they are garden-ready plants, no work needed.
No,
I planted mine a few weeks ago, and do you know what? They've doubled in size.
Yeah.
They begin to really flower profusely. The roots are incredible on these. I mean, they're really healthy. I mean, sometimes you'll buy a tray of plants, and then when you take them out, half the compost drops away because they're not properly rooted. Look at those.
Yeah, well rooted.
So they are so strong and raring to go. And as Bex was saying, with them being a semi-trailing variety, they are great for the edge of pots because they'll tumble over. I wouldn't necessarily put them in the centre. I mean, you can just do a whole basket or a whole pot full of them. But if you are mixing with other things, definitely put the Cool Wave around the side. They'll tumble over the edges and make them look spectacular.
That's what I've done with mine. I planted 2 Phoenix Canariensis last week, and I've just tucked them in around the edge of the pot there, and they're just going to tumble and trail over the edges, and they're going to do that right the way through to probably May and June time next year. They just quieten down a little bit during the summer months, trim them back once they've got a little bit leggy, and then they will do it all again for you next year as well. And
it is a buy one, get two free. That's really good. And I'll let you know, I've got a garden centre near me, a really nice garden centre. They sell individual potted pansies. And their cool wave ones are twice the price of the regular ones.
Right.
Yeah, because they're a different breed, a different variety, and they do command a high price. So that value is amazing. Please don't think, oh, it's just another pansy. It really isn't.
It really isn't. When you're putting your order into the basket, by the way, please don't put the 20 or the 30 pack into your basket. You need to put one of the 10 pack into your basket, enter the code, and then the other 20 will appear in your basket. So that item number you can see up there, 40967 is the item number you want. The 10 pack is what you add into your basket.
By the way, do send in your comments. We will read out your comments.
We will.
And we'll show you pictures. I know everyone's chatting away in the chat, so to speak. So this is an example. So we've put, at the moment, we've got a Trina pot, because I'll show you there's a deal on those in a minute, but they're great for your pansies. We've popped in one of the pansies, and we've popped in, I'm not surprised, the rose of the year.
Absolutely.
But until we put the code in, which is YGTV 4524, you won't get any discount. So apply the code and watch what happens. So suddenly, there's your free gift. That is worth £5. And remember, it's not just for roses, it's for your shrubs, of course, as well. Then suddenly, we've got 2 free of the Torino planters. They're lovely little planters, great, say, for bulbs and bedding. And look, we've popped in one of the Pansy Cool Wave, and we've got another 2 absolutely free. And then the Rose of the Year. I mean, look, we are so pleased. We have got this. We are one of the very first to get this. It's Rose of the Year 2025. We've got it right now. Elaine's got hers. You're my everything at $14.99. So that whole basket. Do you know what? I want free postage, though. So I need to spend another £6 and a few pence.
I was just about to say that, Stu. What about the Red Baron? Because that's an amazing deal right now, isn't it? Because you're going to get 3 of them.
Yeah, go on, let's pop these in. I mean, I've got them already, but I can always find room for some more. There you go. Hey, there's 106 reviews, by the way, and the average rating between 4 and 5 stars. So yeah, and then suddenly, because we've taken the basket value to over £40, we have got free delivery as well. Oof. So actually, by putting the Red Baron in there, they've ended up costing about £2 because we've taken off the £6.99 delivery. So I know a lot of you regulars, you do exactly what we're doing. You play around with your baskets, you get the best value. And remember that free gift, by the way, if you're thinking, I could do, maybe you've got a lot of shrubs and roses. Remember, you get the free gift with every separate order. So sometimes it works out better to do separate orders. Sometimes it works out better to do one big order and to get it over £40. But Bex and I, we're just here ready to give you help and advice, but also to save you as much money as possible. Now, we are going to come on to the Red Baron in a second because you're getting 3 today for under a tenner, and it is the most dramatic grass you could probably have in your garden. But let's just check.
Yeah, they're all chatting away to each other, which I love to see, actually, because you all just have nice little conversations with each other. Norfolk Eco, we're asking if there's any climbers on today. Yes, we've got some climbing roses for sure, so those are coming in. Elaine is saying that, yes, the delivery is quite fast at the moment, and also she said that her Pansy Cool Waves look beautiful. She kept hers from last year. And they're looking really good. Done. So it's nice to have a success story there, because we often talk about how they are perennials and you can get them to come back, so it's really good to hear that you've done that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to really try this year. I did keep some in the pub. Actually, Stu, you saw them, didn't you? I did. Yeah, I did keep some in the pub garden from last year. And yeah, why not?
Well, the ones I've got in the pot with the Phoenix Canariensis, I'm going to keep those in that pot and see whether I can do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, why not? Save money.
Sure.
Okay, very excited about this. This is the Wallflower Sunset Tutti Frutti mix. Garden
Tutti
ready.
Frutti, I love that name.
I do. That's cute, isn't it? And it is a buy 10, get 10 free. And I love wallflowers. One of the reasons I started to use them in the pub garden, a lot of you know, look after pub garden, is because you get great foliage throughout the winter as well. Sometimes we forget, but they are,
true.
You know, they really do look nice even before they flower. But we were sort of debating about this on Work Bex, because wallflowers, generally speaking, they are supposed to flower March onwards, but some of these have got flowers right now. So it might be that you get some early flowers, but then you're bound to get the main, flowers March, April, May time.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll get a burst of gorgeous colours, and they are the fiery shades that you're getting with this Tutti Frutti mix. It's the reds, the the oranges, the yellows, some deeper purple colours included in there as well. So they've got just fiery sunshine, sunset shades included. They have a rich, sweet scent as well, which is beautiful. Yeah, definitely. And this is a hybrid variety, so it's been bred particularly for stronger growth, improved vigour, and for a slightly longer flowering season as well. So we are talking March, April, May, which is when you'll get those beautiful flowers.
And what you often get with wallflowers, and you'll know if you've grown them before, they often self-seed. So you might find the next year suddenly wallflowers popping up in the most bizarre places. I mean, my mum's got some that are literally growing out of a stone wall, and she did not plant them there. So they are, they're very resilient little things, and sometimes they will self-seed and grow in the strangest of areas.
Yeah.
And remarkable when you think that they can literally grow out of nooks and crannies sometimes, but they make great winter bedding plants. I love the colour selection there, very easy to grow. And also, and I'm just going to put it out there, if we get, sometimes when we get really wet winters, it does have a bit of an impact on things like your primulas, your polyanthus, your pansies. Sometimes, they end up getting a little bit diseased and things. I do think wallflowers tend to really stand up a bit better. I bet it's only my own opinion.
Yeah, and do you know what? They're nice and compact, which means that they work in a few different places as well. So about 30 by 30 centimetres is what we're talking about. So I think these work great at the front of borders. But likewise, I think if you've got, window boxes and pots on tables like I have in the garden, they really do provide those beautiful colours that you want at that time of year. Perfect partner for your spring flowering bulbs, because of course they'll be flowering at the same time as your bulbs start coming up.
Yeah, I'm just thinking actually that colour mix would look great with lots of bulbs we've had, lots of narcissi and things.
Yeah.
And what I tend to with the wallflowers is when some of the flowers go over, I chop them off, and then quite often you'll get another flourish, you get side stems and things like that.
Definitely. Deadheading, it will absolutely encourage more of those flowers to come through.
So yes, they're on my list today. They're called the Tutti Frutti Mix, and they are 410021, and they're only £9.98. Of course, for us club members, and most of us are, £8.99 for 20. Really good value, really good value. But if I had to pick a favourite grass, I would say it's the Imperator Red Baron Bloodgrass. I don't know for sure, but I think I can safely say that this was the most popular grass this year. And I went to the Chelsea Flower Show, and a lot of the press dubbed it as the Chelsea Foliage Show, because there was lots and lots of grasses in the gardens there. Grasses have become incredibly popular because they're low maintenance, easy to grow. They don't mind the wetter climate that they seem to have. But when it comes to drama, the Red Baron Bloodgrass is incredible. Now, these are just going over, so they might arrive trimmed, do not worry. But what will actually happen, these will die down a little bit during the winter time. You get lots of new green growth in spring. And then in the height of summer, you get the most incredible bright red tips. And then as we move to autumn, that's what it looks like when it's really hot in the summer. But as we move to autumn, that red kind of goes more to a burgundy. They are just so dramatic, beautiful, low maintenance, easy to grow, and an absolute winner. And I always think a lot of garden designers, they do plant in threes, and it does work, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. This is why we bring you packs of 3, because we know how well they work, and the deal on here means that you're basically buying 1 and getting 2 free, which is just brilliant, isn't it?
I mean, what is it, $3.33 a grass?
$3.33, yeah. Unless if you're in the club, obviously. So, yeah, a fantastic deal, and for something that's going to be in your garden for many, many years. And don't think you just have to plant grasses with grasses. You don't have to at all.
No, not at all.
They work gorgeously as contrast and structure in your garden. So if you were to put this next to a softer foliage or something that flowers, is floriferous, it will provide that contrast and that structure. I forgot
to mention, talking about flowers, these do flower in the summer as well.
Yes,
I just forget to say that. Because they are predominantly grown for their beautiful foliage, but you do get these sort of like silvery flowers in the summer as well.
I just need to tell you, Ruth, thank you for letting us know. Stu's on it, basically. You've got it's with the April planter. Don't check out yet. They've done something wrong with the promo mechanic, the way that it gets set up, but we will fix it for you.
And we'll let you know.
And we'll let you know as soon as
that's
fixed.
For that. And if you ever spot something that isn't working, We'll consult our artificial intelligence, known as Stu. He's as good as AI. And we will sort it. Occasionally the odd promotion doesn't work. It doesn't happen very often.
Norfolk Eco are asking a question. So I recently planted 9 red barons I got from you. Once they get going, what month of the year should they be cut back and how regularly throughout the year?
I would say March time.
Yeah, I would say,
that's when I do mine.
March time. You cut them back. You can be quite vigorous with how you cut them back, maybe to, 15, 20 centimetres?
What I would do, I wait till you get loads of new growth coming up in March,
shoots.
so you see the new shoots. That's when you cut the old growth back. And I only ever cut back the straggly bits that don't look good. But just do it. I always think March is the best time when all that new growth is coming through. But
and then it's just that once a year. You don't need to do it any other time. Just once you start seeing those new shoots, chop them right back, and then they will do it all again for you. It's beautiful.
They really will. But they are, you'll know because you bought them already. They're stunning grasses, aren't they? But I'd have to say March sort of time. Any questions, Jay? Come through.
Elaine's just saying how much she loves the red baron bloodgrass as well. So we all do. It's a gorgeous one.
And Elaine, we are expecting some pictures today, by the way. It show's not the same without your pictures.
Yes, please. Stu's just saying, give us 10 minutes and the April planter deal will be working, so we will fix that.
The golden rule is, by the way, if you ever think you're paying more than you should be, just always check as well that you've put the promo code in, the offer code. You've got to put this week's code in, YGTV4524. I know I've told you many times, but there was one day and we had a really good freebie. It was a crocus bulbs. And I was obsessed with getting as many crocus bulbs as possible. So I was really cheeky. I just kept placing loads of separate orders, like, compost order, then I'll do another one. Unfortunately, it was a Friday night and I was on the wine. And then by the time I was placing order number 8 or 9, I'd had a couple of glasses of wine. And on the last order, I forgot to put the promo code in. And then suddenly the confirmation came through. I was like, hang on, where's my freebie? And why is everything...
really expensive?
Yeah, we're not really expensive. But, more expensive than it should be. And I forgot to put the promo code in. So, always make sure if you're suddenly seeing on your, your basket that things aren't the right price, just make sure you've got that promo code in. I never did it again. I never drank wine again.
What a lie.
No, but I never ever forgot that promo code again.
Oh, Stu, we've had an email from Alison. She's saying the wallflowers are showing not in stock. Could you have a little look at that one as well, please?
Oh.
Well, Alison's saying they're showing not in stock.
Unless it's sold out.
Bear with us. We'll have a look.
Got to place an order now and see.
All right, I'm going to move on then. We're going to look at our bulb collections next. I quite like this little collection that we've got going on here because first of all, you're getting the beautiful tulip parrot mix, which we absolutely fell in love with, didn't we? Because this is just stunning.
They really are.
But you're also going to get our just gorgeous Rip Van Winkle daffodils included in there as well. The Rip Van Winkles are the nice dinky ones as well. They're the dinky daffodils. They're only going to get to about 15 centimetres in height, but they've got those lovely spiky looking petals to them.
And I think that's a really clever combination, don't you? So you've got the parrot and the Narcissa Rip Van Winkle, so it's 45 in total, 998. And when you look at them together there, I think they're a perfect combo. Now, I mean, the Rip Van Winkles will probably flower obviously a little bit earlier than the tulips, but there could be an overlap. But what a selection there. To me, that's, for anyone out there, that's if you want to be a bit more flamboyant this springtime, if you want something a little bit more unusual, that's frilly, it's fancy, it's exotic, and it's called Frills and Spikes.
I know, and you see where that name comes from, can't you? The beautiful frills of the tulip parrots and then the spikes of the Rip Van Winkles. 2 stunning varieties, like 2 real standout varieties, one in the tulip world, one in the narcissus world, and we put the 2 of them together. It's gorgeous, and of course it's a half price deal for you as well. So £10 saving, and you're still going to get 45 bulbs included in there.
And it's a really good time to plant them. It's definitely really not too late. I was thinking up to the end of November is fine. You can get away planting bulbs in December. January, if you've got some bulbs you've forgotten about, I would still plant them, but you're probably not going to get quite the displays that you'd hoped for. But yeah, I like that. Yeah.
All right, back to the wallflowers.
Well, have we sorted it?
There's some weird they are in stock, Alison, for definite, but there's some weird redirect that's happening on the website.
Well, let's have a look then, come on.
Stu's going to show us, hang on. So when you go to the Tutti Frutti, there's the 10-pack there, and it says add to your basket, so you can do that. But when we click on it to view it, That's not the Tutti Frutti, that's the Harlequin. So it's redirecting weirdly. So we're going to get that redirect switched off. If you want to add those into your basket, do this. Go to the item code, type in Tutti. Oh, hang on. Type in Tutti. Click on that. I know it says out of stock, but don't worry about that. Add it to your basket there. View the basket. And then there they are, look. And there's the free one because we've already entered the code. So if that's the way, if you want to do it now, that's how you can do it. Stu's going to speak to them to get that weird redirect switched off.
So it's a lot easier.
Sorry. Thank you for letting us know again.
I was like, hang on, I need to see that again. Yeah. But they are in stock. We will get it fixed to make it a little bit easier. Because when I'm ordering anything, you just want it to be easy.
Yeah, we'll make it nice and easy. But there is a way you can do it right now if you want to.
And thank you so much for highlighting that. We really appreciate it. Now, the other bulb collection we've got over here is brand new. And this is the Hardy Rock Garden Tulip Mix. Apparently it was on once before, but it was more expensive. No, I wasn't here. It was when you did the show with Adam.
No, you weren't here. It was when I was with Adam, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't have said. I definitely hadn't done this one
I know
before.
why, because there's some Adam. We've got a note stuck to the back of the board, and I can tell.
Well, I definitely haven't shown this before, but I think it is really, really cute. Isn't it?
It's because you wouldn't look at these and think that these are tulips, first of all, and that's what I quite like. I love a classic. I love seeing a tulip and you look at it and you go, yeah, that's a tulip. But actually, you'd look at these and go, hang on a minute, what is it? And I like that in actual fact. You've got a bunch of just weird and wonderful varieties in there. There's a Saxatilis, there's a Sylvestrus, there's something called the Lizzie, there's the Lilac Wonder. I mean, it doesn't matter what they're all called. They are actually all just very, very beautiful. And they're slightly shorter varieties as well. So most of these are only going to get to about 15 or 20 centimetres, or there's one that might get to about 30 centimetres in height, but they're nice compact varieties too.
So they would work, I mean, they're called the Rock Garden Mix.
Yeah,
but
they'd work in a rockery quite happily.
Or in your, obviously, pots and containers. That one in the middle there looks a bit like a lily, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah. I just thought they're weird, they're wonderful, they're a little bit different. 600 433, and it is a buy one, get one free. So you're going to get 40 bulbs for $8.99 if you are in our club. Oh, great.
Tutti Frutti is fixed, apparently. So if you want to add the wallflowers into your basket, it's going to be much easier to do now. Stu's going to bring the details up so that we can tell you what the item number is.
Because, I mean, I'm going to order these, but I just couldn't be done without faff.
No, nobody needs it.
I'd have got home and not remembered how to do it. So that's the item. You can go to our show page right now. I'll just type it in, 410021.
No, 4...
Right, go to the show page. This is the easy way of doing it, right? And there they are. Press them on. There you go. That's a proper one.
There we go, good.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Yeah. Do you know what? I think our team, generally speaking, we do an amazing job. Because, I mean, YouGarden are a huge company, by the way. So YouGarden... 2 decades of sending plants through the post, but the YGTV team is quite small, isn't it? But very skilled, we'd like to think. Apart from us. No,
there's a bit of skill.
We know our gardening.
Let's not underplay it.
We know our gardening, but I mean in terms of the technical stuff, we're not good at that. But we've got a great little team behind the scenes that will sort out all of those little issues if there's any technical ones. We don't get them very often. Right, we are really pleased that so many of you, including our lovely Elaine,
we're going for our Rose of the Year.
Yay! How cool is this?
Everything. You're my everything.
Thanks, Bex. Ditto. And you're our everything, because we are delighted, and we've got many connections in the the rose world.
Yeah.
We work with some of the biggest names. This is Rose of the Year 2025. It's already been decided. So, this does happen in horticulture. The awards are sometimes given just before the year finishes. I mean, at the end of the day, there's only about 8 weeks till we get into 2025. But you imagine the competition, you imagine how many roses would have been emptied, but this is Rose of the Year 2025. And she is beautiful, isn't she? Stunning.
I love the colour combination. I mean, you've got this creamy yellow rose that's then pink-tipped edges, and that transition between the yellow centre and those pink tips on the edges is what takes you on a journey with this, for sure, isn't it? It is just the best colour combination. Awesome yellow stamens there as well, so really going to invite those pollinators into the garden. Bushy foliage, it actually starts, this is quite interesting as well, it's not just all about the rose. The foliage that you get on here starts as a lovely warm red colour and matures to a gorgeous glossy dark green, which gives you the contrast that you need for the flowers to really then stand out.
And I think the rose starts off really full, but as she opens, it looks a little bit like a wild rose, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and you've got to remember when a rose goes through several phases in terms of the structure of the flower, and often the colours change as it goes from the bud to a early rose, and then as it opens and comes towards the end of its life, then it looked to me a bit like a wild rose. Really beautiful, and lots of you have gone for that. You're going to be some of the first in the UK to own Rose of the Year 2025.
And it's a hybrid tea rose as well, which I mean, I like the floribundas, but hybrid tea might mean something really special to you because you get those lovely long straight sturdy stems. A single rose, which tends to be bigger than the floribunda roses, tends to be more fragrant as well than floribundas, but also means that you'll be able to cut those roses for indoor displays.
And the fragrance of this is I mean, we haven't smelt it yet, but it's supposed to be divine, isn't it?
It's supposed to be very nice, light, fruity fragrance on this
not
one.
overbearing. I mean, I've not got a great sense of smell, but if some roses are really powerful, and some people love that, I don't. I like it a bit more delicate. I think it's gorgeous, it really is. And it is 540-281.
I'm going to let you into a secret. We're laughing because Shaun watched a show back last week, and he said to me this morning, he's like, you say gorgeous a lot. And I was like, I already do know this, and it's my go-to word.
Yeah, we all have them.
We all have a go-to word.
And now I've
gorgeous
picked it up.
apparently is my go-to word.
But no, I've picked up on it.
And I do say
so
it a
what
lot.
am I? Because I have a few as well. What did you say, Stu? I have a few. I do. Do you know is one of mine. Right. So do you know that? And basically is one of mine. So basically, the way you plan this is, that is one of mine. Yeah.
So every time you hear us say the word gorgeous, we're probably going to have a little chuckle.
Yeah, and if I say basically too many times, please let me know. So basically, I don't want to say basically too many times. Right, but we're just having a bit of fun. 540-281. And don't forget your free gift today. If you use the offer code YGTV4524, your free gift is the Ultimate Rose Bloom Booster. It's a complete fertiliser. That I just said it basically. That basically has, I'm going to keep going, all of your NPK in there, but it's got mycorrhiza, which is great in terms of developing roots far faster, but also you have got things like your slow release fertilizer in there as well, and all of your trace elements and minerals. So if you want to go for that right now, it's the You're My Everything Rose of Year 2025. Plant it as a bare root, give it a good soak overnight. Great for pots and containers, but great for your beds and borders. Just give it a nice sunny spot. Then we've got our deal of the week, which is, this is a good one. 4 patio standard roses. 4 colours, you get a pink, you get a yellow, a red, and you get a white. And they've all been grafted, so you get a tall, slender stem. And they won't, when they arrive, they don't look a lot, and I'm just being really honest. They don't look a lot. We sometimes call it a stick and a promise. However, we absolutely guarantee that next summer you will get roses looking like this. And if you don't, these are backed by our lifetime guarantee because they're fully winter hardy. So if one of them died, if it didn't survive, if it didn't flourish, we would replace it for free. All you'd pay is your postage and packaging, $530-199. That is a deal of the week. And then we have got some incredible, and I truly mean incredible deals on our rose collections. Now these are hybrid teas, and as we've been saying, that means bigger roses, a single rose on a long stem. So great for cutting, really fragrant, 5 bare roots, working out £3 a rose. Now if you were to buy one of these potted in the summer, you could easily be talking £20. You really could. At least 15, but you can buy them right now, pot them on, and spend £3 a rose, and they're all hybrid teas, 530-211. That is amazing value. And then the other collection that we are really going to highlight is the Glamour Rose collection. Now this one is full of winners and favourites. And again, incredible value. I'll just give you the details if I can. There you go. It is the Glamour Collection 530011. So the white one is Pascali, absolutely stunning. Then we've got After Bell. This is a very, very famous rose. Beautiful yellow rose that goes a little bit creamy as it ages. Another big named rose. Then we have got Queen Elizabeth Scarlet, a stunning, stunning scarlet pink rose. In the collection, this is the Peace Rose, and it was really named after the Second World War to really celebrate peace. And then finally we have got Queen Elizabeth as well. Now 3 of these roses are also previous winners of Rose of the Year. So the Pascali, the Peace, the Queen Elizabeth, they have all been given the award of Rose of the Year through various, years and decades. And some of these have also got the RHS Award of Garden Merit. So it's a winner's collection, named roses, really famous roses, only £14.99. 530011 is your item number. Now we've also got on our website, we've got some other bare roots that are on the show today. This is a really funky rose. It's really unusual. It's called Oranges and Lemons, a Papagena. It has a jumping gene in it. So in a nutshell, that makes sure that every rose is different. No 2 roses will ever be the same. Some will be more orange, some more yellow, some will be a big mixture of both. It's a beautiful, unique, very, very special rose, 530249. And then we've got Abracadabra. We know you love the song from the Steve Miller Band. We say it's a little bit like rhubarb and custard, this one. And again, every single rose is slightly different. Abracadabra, I want to reach out and grab you, 530316 at $14.99. And then a very stylish and unusual rose is the Black Baccarat. Now, this one looks different depending on the light. So sometimes it's chocolatey, sometimes it's burgundy, sometimes it will look jet black. And I just think maybe mixed with a white rose, something like the Iceberg, it could look sensational. So it's a really unusual, beautifully bred rose. Again, it's going to arrive as a bare root. Great time to plant it is right now, 530317. And then on our favourites, we've got Pansy Cool Wave. It's a buy 10, and these are plants ready to go right now, and get 20 free. So you're going to get 20 garden ready plants. Just put that off code in, YGTV 4524, 30 plants for $13.49. Then we had our Ericium, our wallflowers, and this is the Sunset Tutti Frutti mix. Now, really, these should flower March onwards, so the spring flowering at the same time as your bulbs, but you may also get flowers right now as well. Some of these aren't in flower right now, but you'll definitely get the big burst, the big show in March, 410021, and it is a buy one, get one free. Then we have got one of the best prices, if not the best price, we've ever seen on the Imperator Red Baron Bloodgrass. So, oh my word, if I was going to just buy one grass, it would be this one. So in the height of summer, the foliage goes really red. It's a true red. It's beautiful. It's really striking, actually. And then as it ages in the autumn time, it goes a little bit more burgundy, does die down in winter. And what I'd do, I'd wait till sort of March time, and that's when you give it a good trim. And if it looks, look, if it all looks really straggling, it shouldn't do, but if it does, you could trim it right back to 10 centimetres or so, and all of that new growth would come back that very same year. They do flower. I tend to forget about the flowers, but they are nice. You get these lovely kind of silvery flowers in summertime as well. But it's a very, very striking, dramatic grass. 560017. Now, don't forget your free gift today, as long as you use the off code, is our Ultimate Rose Bloom Booster. Now, it's not just for roses, it's for pretty much all of your shrubs as well. But if you are planting your bare root roses, just sprinkle some of that in there. That's enough for about 4 roses. Or you can use it as a top dressing once a year as well. If you want a bigger pack, we have got a big pack, haven't we? There you go.
I mean, there's a big pack. So that is the 750-gram pack.
That's big, isn't it?
Stu just said to my ear, and it is hilarious. You order that on its own, you'll also get that as a freebie. Yeah. Enter the code, because obviously you'll get your £5 saving on this pack. You'll get it for $9.99, and then you'll get that one free of charge as well. So there's going to be, if you've got lots of roses, lots of shrubs in your garden, then yeah, the big pack is going to go a long way for you. It's an annual feed as well, so it's not one you have to do constantly. It's just an annual feed that you can
just like a top dressing.
Either put it in when you're planting, or just as a top dressing, and just you sort of dig that into the soil.
Yeah, that is a really good price.
Amazing, and it's resealable. Resealable, that's the word. Thank you.
I can read your mind, Bex.
It's got one of those push things to close it and reseal it, so keep it nice and fresh.
I don't know about you, but I don't ever look and think, oh, is that a bit too old to use?
Yeah, no, I just use it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a big garden, lots of shrubs, you probably use a lot of that next year. But if you don't, I always think you can use it for a few years, it'd be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So use it at planting time or as a spring top dressing, releasing nutrients all season long.
Actually, this one actually has got a batch code on it, and it says used by May 2026. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, is that?
This just says batch code. Oh yeah, April 2026.
Yeah, so there you go.
Plenty of time to use that.
No, so I'm giggling because I did have. Don't do this at home. But I had some food last night, and I realised after it was a few days out.
That's fine.
I feel fine today.
Usually knows. This is what that's what I say to my husband all the time, because he used to live by those dates, and I'm like, does it smell okay? Yeah. Then it's fine.
I know. But please
This is why they've started taking the dates off, because people were throwing food away that was perfectly good.
But please don't follow our advice. Make your own decisions.
Make your own decisions.
Yeah. Right.
You might need some new secateurs, and if you're like me, because this is the annoying thing, I keep using secateurs for such a long time after, like, I should have bought a new pair. Sometimes you just need to get yourself a new pair, and this is a great pair because these have got Teflon-coated carbon steel blades on there. They're spring-loaded, which makes them really nice and easy to use. Plus, they've got that locking mechanism on there for safety as well, and the rubber grip, which is nice and comfortable to hold on to. Really nice and. I mean, I just had a little feel of the blade. Obviously, you would expect the blade to be nice and sharp, wouldn't you? But I can feel how sharp that is. So yeah, that's going to make trimming, pruning so much easier. And of course, we know how important it is to use a nice sharp pair of secateurs.
Oh, it really is, because if they're blunt, what they'll do, they won't cut smoothly and they'll tear, and that could lead to disease and problems. So you really always want a nice clean cut, and they'll give you that as well. I personally always prefer bypass secateurs as well. There are other different varieties out there, but I much prefer the bypass ones. And although colours will vary on this, generally speaking, all of them bright colours, the reason why I like that is because I lose them.
Yeah,
I do.
It's very important. You put them down, don't you? And then you can't find them again, but you'll be able to see these.
I've learned that black handle secateurs and green are not for me, because I just put them down on the ground or on the grass, and then I'm like, where's my secateurs? And then 12 months later I find this rusty thing in a bed of border. So I just think if you've got bright coloured handles, if you like me, it just means you don't mislay them.
Yeah, definitely. Really good price on those.
I'll tell you what else I've done. Have you ever done this, Bex? So gardening with your heavy duty pots, which we've got on the show, by the way, and you're doing your weeding and your trimming, and then you shove your secateurs in with all the things that you've trimmed. Yeah. And then the whole lot goes in the green bin, and
and then you're rooting in the
you hear like a clunk, and it's like, oh.
No.
But if they're bright coloured, you're less likely to do that, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're great prices, well, $9.99.
Oh, and another one. We got this one, Stu. The sulphur rose spray on. I quite like the idea of this.
I do.
This seems like it could help me out a little bit, because I got a little bit of black spot on my roses this year. I did. What I was doing was going around taking all the leaves off as you're supposed to, get rid of those. They're absolutely fine. You know what? They're going to be okay. But this actually can help to stop the spread of the spores when you've got black spot or what's the other one? Powdery mildew. Just spraying this on can help to stop that from spreading and getting any worse.
And I think the reason why some of us got the powdery mildew and the black spot, it was because it was just a wet summer.
So wet, wasn't it? Yeah. So all you have to do with this is spray it on. So it's super easy. Shake bottle well before use, and then you're going to spray onto the leaf, onto the underside of the leaf, the stem, and sometimes a little bit around the soil surface as well, because that's where the spores can be living. But just do that, and it's a once a month thing. Just give it a nice little spray, and that's going to really help to stop any powdery mildew or that black spot from spreading.
I think it's a really good investment.
I'm going to get some of that myself.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have too many problems, but I had a little bit on some of the roses.
And non-pesticides, safe for wildlife, pets and bees, which is a really important thing. If you're trying to be, more organic in your gardening, then we can do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good product, that one. Really good. 100,052. Right, got more to show you.
Oh, over here. Okay. Sorry.
Should we start over there with the cottage garden collection?
Let's do it, yeah. So
now this one. So this one is it's another brilliant offer, and it's a buy one get one free. 12 plants, you're going to get 24 for £12.99. Works out what, about 50 pence a plant, something like that, just over 50p a plant, maybe less if you're a club member. And there's so many favourites here. We've got delphiniums, we've got hollyhocks, we've got coreopsis, we've got geums. You might get verbena, bonariensis in here, echinacea, aquiledias, just name a few. I actually potted these up about 3-4 weeks ago, and they have pretty much doubled in size.
Yeah.
They really have.
Now, I wouldn't be planting these out.
No, I wouldn't.
Would you? No?
I've done them in pots.
I think get those and plant them into, put them into some of your old nursery pots, whatever, grow them on. Just because they're just a bit too small. Although they're all winter hardy, but you just might misplace them or whatever when you're digging around in the garden. So I would pot them up as Shaun has done here, grow them on, and then I'd be planting them out maybe in springtime.
And you don't need to protect them from frost.
No.
But it's just, with them being small plants, if you put them in your beds and borders, there's just a chance you'll forget where they are,
Exactly.
They'll die down, the dog will trample over them, you'll dig them up accidentally when you're weeding. So just having them in pots, it gives them a safer environment, but a beautiful selection there.
A great time of year to get incredible value for money, because it is a buy one, get one free. You're going to get 24 of those for £12.99 or £11.69 if you're in the club. Yeah. So the pricing here is incredible, and the varieties are just awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, I named a few there. That gives you a good idea of what you're going to get, but it may vary ever so slightly, but they'll all be perennials, they'll all be tried and tested, they'll be absolute winners that will come back for many, many years.
And it will be labelled, so our lovely slimline packaging that we've got here. So they have labels on the front here, which tells you the named varieties. They match up to a letter of the alphabet. And then on the packaging, if I shine it into the light there, you can see E, F, D, C, and I guess it'll be B and A. That will match up to the names on the front there, so you know which one is which, just so that you're not trying to guess.
But that is all about value. And do you know what? I would say that it isn't just about saving money. It's a lovely, rewarding journey to grow those, and then suddenly, in a few years' time, you're going to have massive perennials that you'll be maybe even dividing and spreading around your garden.
Oh yeah, that's what I love. Yeah, you can then divide that and just create so many plants from them.
It's rewarding. Right, we were talking about this, the bromeliad, which we saw last year. And I did have this in my previous garden, actually, but it never flowered. And the reason being, I actually had it in too shady a spot. But I just loved the foliage, actually.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous one, yeah. And you said yours looked like this all year round, didn't
Yes, that was a gorgeous, by the way. Did you spot it at home?
It is gorgeous, right? It's
basically, the reason why it's gorgeous.
It doesn't require a huge amount of looking after, so it can cope with minus temperatures. It can go down to about probably -4, -5. So just bear that in mind, depending on where you are. If you're expecting seriously colder temperatures for prolonged periods, then you might want to keep it in a pot just so that you can look after it a little bit. But ultimately, in most areas of the country, this is going to be absolutely fine. And it's evergreen. That foliage looks amazing all year round.
I purely grew it for foliage, and I loved it. But you know what I'm thinking? Because I meant to buy it next year. It was in my old garden, so I haven't got it now. I think that'd look really good in my tropical
area, definitely.
Which does get a lot more sunshine.
Definitely, yeah. And if you want, because the flowers, that picture you can see there, it creates this incredible flower. It's almost an electric blue centre. And then the leaves around it turn this bright red colour. So you've got the green, the red, and the electric blue, which sounds like three colours that really shouldn't work together, but actually is amazing when you see it.
To me, it looks really exotic. It looks really beautiful and outstanding. And say, mine never flowered. I loved it for the foliage, because the foliage is really quite interesting. But when it flowers, it's going to be so striking. I'm just imagining that near my palms and things. In pots, it'd look great, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
Now,
it can produce offsets as well, so you can actually propagate, because you get offsets around the base, and you can then divide them.
I did that, I remember.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's why I knew quite a few clubs, but say, unfortunately, they're all in kind of fairly shady areas. But look at that flower.
It looks so cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, amazing.
Really exotic, sort of rare. Yeah, love it.
Now, something that I have got in my garden. Have you got this one? The Bowl of Beauty?
No, I don't have peonies, to be honest.
This, I think if you're going to have some peonies, this one is one of the
one.
most stunning. And it's on a buy one, get... Oh, hang on. 6 bare roots then?
Oh, it's a buy one, get one free. So it comes as a 3-pack and you will get another pack free of charge.
Right,
so you're going to get 6 peonies here.
Do you know what? I honestly thought you got 1 bare root and it was a buy one, get one free. So I thought you got 2 for $14.99.
There you go. No, you're going to get a triple pack. 6 of them. And these create the most spectacular peony flowers that can be really big. These can get like 20 centimetres in diameter. A beautiful pink colour, and then that yellow centre is incredible, isn't it?
It's really stunning, beautiful.
It looks like 2 flowers together.
Yeah. And I always think yellow and pink is actually a really nice combination. Now, with peonies, buy it as a bare root. We'll just be honest, in the first year, because you want to plant these now, next year, and these tend to flower sort of very early summer, late spring, early summer, you may get 1 or 2 flowers on each of the bare roots. You may do. But it's more like year 2, year 3 when they'll really establish and form big clumps. They do need a really sunny spot, ideally in well-drained soil. Yeah,
and so they'll get to somewhere between 3 and 4 feet in height, ultimate growth here. So maybe about 1 metre in height and sort of spread, but you get really gorgeous, really lovely bushy growth.
No, you're allowed to say gorgeous a bit, Bex. Don't look.
You get really lovely bushy foliage growth here. But when you've got a few years in, 2 or 3 years in, the amount of flowers that you can get, and they can be big, they can be 20 centimetres across. So these really are spectacular. They're a sight to see.
And in the last few years, peonies have also become a really desirable cut flower. Many of the top florists across the country, they do use peonies. And in the first few years, you're not going to get enough flowers. But when this is established, you will get dozens and dozens of these exquisite peony flowers, which means you can take them into the home and enjoy them there as well. Peonies, occasionally, they may need a bit of support. Sometimes the flowers get big and a little bit heavy. Sometimes they don't. It just depends. But it is one of the most outstanding varieties. Just don't plant them too deeply. All the plant instructions are on the packet. If you ever plant them too deeply, you just get loads of leaves and not enough flowers. But I've got several peonies in my garden, and I have said that, for me, is the most beautiful one.
Yeah.
Really is.
Yeah, it's nice.
And it was our friend, some of you know if you watched us when we used to work on a particular shopping channel, our friend Angela she discovered this in France originally, I remember.
I remember,
yeah.
In fact, she took some pictures, didn't
she? She saw it in flower at a market stall and she just fell in love with it. And we ended up with it on the YouGarden shows as well.
Amazing.
But the value there, buy 3 bare roots and get another 3 absolutely free at $14.99, $13.49 if you are a club member. Now, in terms of fragrance...
Oh, we got some...
We have got the Philadelphus Snowbell. And this is, I mean, out of all the plants on the show, you could argue this is probably the most beautiful in terms of fragrance.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's got the nickname of the mock orange because it has a sweet citrus scent to it. Pure white flowers on here as well, which again, we're going to highlight the value of having white flowers in your garden because they just make everything pop around it. The foliage is a lovely deep green as well, which again gives you that lovely contrast between the white flowers and the green of the foliage. Not fussy on soil type at all, so you don't need to worry too much about this too. And it's just an easy one to grow. I would definitely be planting this somewhere where you're going to be able to enjoy the fragrance. It's a perfect border plant, reaching about 4 feet in height and spread ultimately once it gets going. But I think it's something that you could quite happily keep in a pot as well.
And value-wise, we know most of you ordering right now are club members. If you're a club member, it's $2.25 for plants. And I mean, although they're not huge at the moment, they're still well established. They're in your 9-centimetre pots. In fact, I'm just going to take one of those out.
Yeah, go for it.
There you go. But look at the root system. So it won't be long at all.
That's healthy, isn't it?
Really healthy.
Nice and strong.
And it is a really good time to plant. This is fully winter hardy, by the way, so you don't need to worry if there's frost and snow, that is not going to be a problem. You do get all 3. You could grow them in pots, of course, as well. But when these flower, I mean, the white double flowers are exquisite, but that fragrance is divine. I mean, I could sit next to one of these all day long. They are absolutely beautiful. And then we've also got, do you know, something that I've only recently planted in my garden. I've got a fairly new garden. It's 4 years old. Yeah, just over 4 years old. And I didn't have any anemones. and I started to get anemone envy because everywhere at this time, even at this time of year,
it, don't you?
Yeah,
you do see them because they're late flowering,
They are.
and actually you get a bit jealous when you see other people that have got those late flowering beauties because everything in your garden has just started to go over, and then you're walking around and you see these gorgeous anemones flowering, and I can totally see what you mean.
And they say they start to flower late summer, but this year, because it's been mild, the anemones are still going strong in so many areas of the UK. And what is nice about anemones, I think there's a delicate nature to them. They never need staking, and I'm not a big fan on staking because I'm just not very good at staking. So quite often when I have to stake, it just looks a little bit messy and untidy. These are self-supportive, so you get these lovely flowers on the long stems. They tend to just, in the breeze, they just sway ever so gently. Nice and easy to grow, but again, I say sort of sunny spot ideally, well-drained soil, and they come back every single year. It's a really exquisite selection. And I'm right to say, you get in the pink, you get the red, and you get this sort of whitey, creamy yellow variety as well. But that's only $9.97. You get all three of those, working out about £3.33 each. Now, if you have just joined us, good morning.
Hello.
We're here live from the potting shed. My name's Shaun Ryan. This is lovely Bex Edwards. Stu is in the gallery. We would love to hear from you. And there's lots of ways of contacting us. You can send an email, ygtv@yougarden.com. You can, Stu just said, carry a pigeon.
Might take a little while, but sure, if you want to.
And I don't think it'd get here. But you could chat with us on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Any messages, babe?
Yeah, Elaine sent us some pictures, which I'm loving.
Elaine.
So she sent us some pictures showing what's happening in her garden right now. So a lovely little picture of a corner there. Got Fatsia in the corner there. Looks like a coronilla that we've got going on. What do you reckon that is? That feels like it might be a rhododendron.
I was going to say,
like a rhodey leaf.
I'd say so.
We're looking very, very nice.
I tell you what, Elaine, the Fatsia in the corner, great choice. I used to have one I've got a couple now, but in my last garden it was in the corner and it looked great.
And she's got another one of her Nandina, which looks like it's a relatively new one, but that's going to fill out beautifully. But I just want to point out, check out their use. There's the red grass, but we've also got that bark mulch, which she's been putting down. Because I know Elaine's ordered many bags of the bark mulch. And the final one, and I wish I'd taken a picture of mine, I will do later, because this one is of the geranium Roseanne. And my geranium Roseanne is still looking absolutely incredible right now. In fact, it's probably the standout thing in the garden.
And do you know what I've done? I've actually bought some more for the other side of the garden.
Look at it.
Yeah. No wonder. This was voted, by the way, plant of the centenary at the Chelsea Flower Show.
As well. She's got my lovely little favourite in there, the Hypericum Miracle Attraction.
Yeah, we haven't got that today, have we?
Love that.
We haven't got that. We've not.
But yeah, geranium Roseanne is looking really good.
Because the Hypericum still look pretty good on there. So
Hypericum look good at this time of year.
Yeah.
They've still got stuff going on with them. So yeah, very, very nice. Well done. Thank you for
sending
pictures,
Elaine.
If anybody else
Elaine
wants to send
update.
us any pictures of their gardens, we want to see them. So ygtv@yougarden.com is the email. Alison just sent us an email saying thank you, Stu, for fixing the wallflowers. That's all that Alison was saying. So yes, thank you very much for your contribution to the show. We appreciate it.
We do. And your participation. Right, we have now got... and I remember, Elaine, I can't remember how many of these you bought, but I believe you bought several, and it is our hydrangea, Magical Matterhorn. So, first of all, hydrangeas have had the most incredible year. Every year is different, but we are getting a pattern, I think, weather-wise in the UK, where it's wetter, isn't it? I think you'll agree. If you had to say, is it drier nowadays? No, it's wetter. And what has tended to happen is that the seasons have merged a bit. It's warmer. It's definitely warmer. We had a cool summer, but now we're having a really warm autumn.
Yeah. So
hydrangeas are thriving right now in the UK. I think it was the best year ever, probably, for hydrangeas. And the great news is there are so many wonderful new varieties. Now, this one is rather magical. It's called the Magical Matterhorn. It's a paniculata. It's more compact, so it's only going to grow to about 90 centimetres, 100 centimetres, something like that. It's very easy to grow. You just want a semi-shady area. You want nice moist soil, but well-drained. And it will grow fairly quickly. I mean, it's already a well-established plant in a 3-litre pot, but actually, within the next couple of years, it will be full size and it will produce these absolutely incredible displays. And again, just a little bit like the peony, hydrangeas are now often used, aren't they, by florists. So once it's established, you've got many, many flowers that you can cut.
Yeah.
And the colour, I like the colour of this because it's kind of like white, but then a little bit creamy and green.
Yeah,
and
you get a lovely lime green tone to it as well. Densely packed panicles. It's bred to be a little bit more upright as well. So I'm hoping that you wouldn't need to do too much staking with this one. But those flowers are incredible as cut flowers. They also look incredible left on once the flowers are faded. This time of year, as those flowers start to go over, they really do add a lot of interest over the winter months if you leave them on the plant.
And if you're worried about pruning and stuff, our advice is leave the dead flowers on over winter because they do look attractive.
Yeah.
They're great anyway for insects. And then give this a prune in springtime. And never be scared. It always flowers on its new growth. So if it gets big and it gets a little bit too big or out of shape, you can always cut it right back and it will still flower that very same year. But it's a lovely variety. And our head gardener, we got to see some pictures of our head gardener's garden. And he's done a whole border. He's got a mixture of hydrangeas, but he's just done whole borders of them with actually geranium roseanne.
I love it. I'm going to steal that idea. Next house I'm in, for sure. I'm totally stealing that idea, and particularly seeing how well my my geranium roseanne is doing. It's 100% a great combination, isn't it?
But I think you'll agree, hydrangeas, they're a must-have right now. When I grew up, I remember, what were their name? My friend was called Joanne, I can't remember her parents' name, but they had hydrangeas in their front garden. They had 3, and they had a pink, a blue, and a white, the mop-head ones, and I loved them. And that's all I remember as a child. I just remember the mop-heads, and they say they just set colours. But now, varieties like this, I don't remember the paniculatas as a child. I just don't remember seeing them.
And they're stunning.
They are.
This one is in a 3-litre pot. It is a really well-established plant. It's only £8.99 if you're in the club, which I'd love to be able to go to garden centres and buy for that kind of price, but you just can't, can you? No. So you're in the right place here at YGTV.
Every plant that is fully... Was it 4 you got, Elaine?
Yeah, do you remember Elaine sent us a picture of that area of her garden?
Yes.
And you suggested hydrangea. She's gone for it.
Thanks, Elaine. You won't regret that. I haven't bought them yet, only because I need to empty my border first. I've got a border that's a bit of a mess. But if you want that, as Bex has just said, brilliant price, and I'd get them planted as soon as possible, but it's already in a decent pot, so it's not something that you need to definitely plant in the next couple of weeks. In fact, I might order mine, Elaine, while the offer's on, because I don't need to get my border ready quite now. Right, what about this one?
Yeah, we brought this one to you for a couple of weeks, so we won't linger too long on it, but it is an incredible one, particularly at this time of year. It's camellia, it's Yuletide, and the reason is because it's going to flower for you, typically over the festive period. So you can see there is a beautiful bloom. This is the same plant that we've had in the potting shed for the last few weeks, and this was the big fat bud that I kept talking about. Hey, look at the big fat bud. The big fat bud has now opened up, and you get the bright red flowers. But just check out the stamens there.
I was just going to say that.
Can you see how loud and proud those stamens are? There are so many of them, which means that is going to be an absolute invitation to any of those late pollinators, isn't it? And there are buds everywhere all over this plant. Honestly, we've been counting them up. If you go along one stem, every time you get to a leaf axil, there is another bud there. It's going to flower for you. It's a great size plant, but you're not going to be waiting long to have the best flowering display from this, because those buds are already there.
So should be flying within a few weeks of receiving it. You might even get some flowers on it, and then all the way through Christmas. And it is evergreen as well with camellias. The foliage is really, really nice. It's glossy, always looks healthy as well. But don't forget, it does need an acid soil.
Yes.
So that is really important. And if you don't know what soil type you've got, and many people don't, just make sure you buy some ericaceous compost, and when you plant it in your bed or your border, just mix a bit of that in there. Or it would do very nice in a pot, but do use ericaceous compost. And it's not really kind of choice, because if you don't use ericaceous compost, it will look a little bit sickly after a while. It will.
It won't give you the flowers. It just won't be very happy. So make sure you get some ericaceous. Yeah.
But it's a lovely, lovely camellia.
I love it.
I do as well.
Yeah.
Right, we've still got loads to show you, but really popular today. We're really quite I was going to say smug. No, that's the wrong word.
No, we are a bit smug.
We are a bit
We
smug.
knew this was going to be your favourite. It should have gone straight onto the favourites table, but we put it with all the other roses. It is the Rose of the Year 2025. You're my everything, and look at it.
So how can we have Rose of the Year 2025, Bex?
Well, they must
How?
just do that competition in preparation for, you know, it's ready for 2025. I'm not big up on exactly how they award Rose of the Year, but it must be part of the process, and then it's launched for ready for 2025. There you go.
And to be honest, we don't really care. We're just delighted
I don't
we've
care.
got it.
I just know that we've stolen a march on everybody else. We've got it. It's in stock right now. Thank you to our wonderful team of gorgeous buyers and people in the office at YouGarden who've managed to get hold of this, because that is amazing.
And YouGarden are very well connected.
Yeah.
We really are. We've been bringing new plants for nearly 20 years. Peter McDermott is very well respected. He's our head gardener. He writes for a lot of the gardening magazines. He knows many, many famous people out there and works very closely with Rose Company. So we have got Rose of the Year 2025 available right now, November 2024. What else have you absolutely loved? Well, this is the bromeliad. And it is hardy, by the way. If it's really cold, it may need a little bit of protection. I think we said to -5 on this one. Now, I have grown this, and it looked wonderful in my previous garden, but it never flowered because it was in too much shade. So it does ideally need a sunny spot. And as the clumps get bigger, you can divide them very easily. To me, it looks like it looks a little bit grass-like, but it's tougher and stronger. But those flowers are literally out of this world. So if you like the bromeliad there, the fascicularia bicolor hardy, it is £9.99, 560, 100. And then in terms of value, we have got the adorable Philadelphia Snowbell. Now, this is often called mock orange because the fragrance of the blossoms is like a beautiful citrus, zesty fragrance. But the flowers themselves are divine. You get doubles that are really, really quite incredible and really pretty. Lovely foliage. Needs ideally a sunny spot. We'll tolerate, sort of like part sun, and will never grow too big. So we're only talking about 1 metre or so in terms of height. We do get all 3 of those, and they're working out for club members about £2.25 per plant, 510, 522. Really nice one, that one, really nice. And then if you're looking for late flowering plants, anemones, you cannot go wrong with these. So the anemones start to flower really towards the very end of summer. So as all your other perennials are dying back, looking a little bit tired, a little bit sad, the anemones start to steal the show. And you've actually got here 3 they're all hardy, so don't worry about frost and snow and things in the winter. They can grow fairly tall, so 1 metre, maybe a more actually, when established. And you get these very dainty flowers on the slender stems. I always think these look great on a slightly breezy day, just gently swaying and nodding. A really pretty plant, this one. 480, 128, and 997. And then if you're looking for a little bit of a project, what about these? And value, of course, as well. These are our cottage garden perennials. Now you get 12 plugs, and you get another 12 that are absolutely free. Now, you will get a mixture, all sorts are in here, but lots of favourites like delphiniums. You'll probably get some kind of geums. You'll get maybe hollyhocks. You might get coreopsis, echinacea, just all really well-known perennials. And all of them are easy to grow. And they will give you probably, that's a goya there that we're looking at, of course. This is cute. Hollyhocks. Some of those may be doubles as well, but they'll give you probably flowers from May all the way through to October and November. And what we advise is, because they are obviously plug plants, grow them on in pots. You can put them in beds and borders, but they're just small, so you might forget about them, lose them, accidentally dig them up. Put them in pots and then plant them out in springtime. All of those are fully winter hardy. They're 200, 347 at £12.99. That is really good value. Buy 12, get 12 free. And then don't forget, we have got a stunning hydrangea for you, Magical Matterhorn. just saw this one. The flowers are really, really incredible because they're creamy white, but you'll get little hints of green. You might even get little hints of pink in there as well. Hydrangeas are easy to grow, but they just don't like to dry out. So make sure they're in a really nice, moist soil that's well drained. Part sun, I think, is best for them, and they will make a lovely cut flower as well. But I love that hydrangea. Elaine bought 4 of those last week. 511551 is your item number. Right, also, really popular today are pansy cool wave.
What? Sorry, hello? Hi.
Who are you saying hello to?
Oh.
How do we know Bex is popular today?
I'm always popular.
Of course.
It's not true. Good morning, Grimmy. He says he's been late to the show today because he's been finishing some decorating. We don't mind, it's just lovely to have your company. Hello to Verna as well. I'm doing some decorating as well at the moment. Quite enjoying doing some painting.
It's that time of year, isn't it? Because you're getting ready for Christmas and you suddenly think, oh, I need to get the house looking a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know what it's like. Who's just showing us Angela?
Angela must be on Facebook normally. Oh, her apple tree is blossoming. Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. Isn't it weird, the weather we're getting? It's just weird. It just does weird things. Hopefully, it'll blossom. I mean, nothing's going to happen to that blossom, so it'll just fall off, and then hopefully it'll just blossom again in the springtime.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
I'm sure it will. It'll be fine.
But yeah, we've sometimes asked you what's flowering your garden that shouldn't be right now, and that's definitely one of them. Yeah, it's weird to say so many things. I mean, winter. I was saying because it was obviously bonfire night the other night, and I was saying I remember as a child it being freezing cold, and the garden looking completely dead.
Yeah.
And yet this bonfire night,
it's quite warm and lovely, wasn't it?
And say we've still got things flying in our garden.
Funnily enough, Alison's just sent us some pictures, saying some photos taken yesterday of plants looking good in our garden. The gerbras are still sending up new flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, they shouldn't be flowering, but there they are. Look, gerbras still flowering.
In November. And we said the same. We've still got flowering gerbras on the nursery. Stu and I walked past them the other day and was like, hang on, they look amazing in November. I know.
Weird, isn't it?
Actually, yeah, if you've got...
and her nerines are flowering, which they should be flowering now. Although it's probably still a little bit late for them. But yeah, I do love a nerine.
Yeah, mine are in flower as well right now. And do you know, I was given them by a friend, actually. I was given them a few years ago. And then I put them in a pot. And I'll be honest, right, forgot about them. And they were stuck, they were stuck behind the greenhouse. And then suddenly I was in the greenhouse, and I was like, hang on, what's that lovely pink I can see down there? But I did nothing to them.
Yeah, and they just flowered.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So thank you. But yeah, keep those pictures coming in, keep those comments coming in. Right, what's something we know is going to flower in your garden from now right the way through for the next 10 months of the year? Pansy cool wave. I say for the next 10 months. What is it now? It's November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So you're going to get about 8 months of flowering, and then they will probably die back in July and August. But the next 8 months, they're going to produce hundreds, if not thousands, of flowers. And these are ready straight now. Hang on, let me get my words right around there. They're ready to plant straight away right now in your garden. Got their bags.
They're plants, not plugs. They've been grown on. They're good. They're big. They're garden ready. They've got gorgeous root structures. They are absolutely ready for you to plant out right now. So no growing on required. Just plant them wherever you want them to be.
And it's one of the most hard-working pansies we've ever seen. I think the most hard-working. And I did a little experiment a few years ago when this breed first came out. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to do some mixed baskets. Going to put some of our regular pansies in there and some cool wave. And the cool wave just outperformed the others. They just flowered more.
Every time.
They flowered for longer. They just stole the show. And we have got other lovely varieties, but cool wave, they flower longer 10 months of the year. And actually, was it Elaine said she'd kept hers from last year?
Yes, it was, yeah.
So basically, a lot of people use them just as autumn and winter and spring bedding. However, when they die back in the sun, what happens is that you imagine, like, they flower and flower and flower and flower and flower, and then finally go, I'm exhausted. And it's too hot because it's July and August. They just go, oh, I need a break. So they'll just get straggly. They'll look a bit sad. But the key is, if you want to keep them going, chop them right down, put them in a slightly shadier corner, and then as we head towards autumn, give them a good feed again and they'll just bounce back.
They're brilliant, honestly. And it's a buy one, get two free. So 400967 is the item number. Put 1 pack of 10 into your basket. Don't be tempted to use the pack of 20 or the pack of 30. It's the pack of 10 you want. Use the code. Those other 2 packs of 10, 20 in total, will appear in your basket. Plus, you'll get your free gift included as well. And
that is a better deal than we had a few weeks ago. And I know because I bought the other deal. Did you see, Stu, did we see what they look like right now? The Panzer Kill Wave?
No, the basket he's talking about, Stu, down the bottom there.
Can I just go and get it?
Oh, we can't see it.
Just stay there. This is why. Because now I can bend. I need to make the most of my back. So watch this.
Absolutely.
I'll just lift this down. Where do you want it, Stu?
In front of the stroke, she says.
I like it there. Look at
Front
that.
and centre.
Look at it though.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well done, Stu.
Oh, wow. Oh,
hey,
right
Stu.
in close.
Stu.
So many flowers, though.
Don't go into my face that close, will you? We don't want to lose our viewers. Hang on, I'm going to have to lean back.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
But, right, so you want it just down the front of the bag of straws, yeah? Yeah. Well, now my back's good. I mean, you look, here we go. That is amazing, isn't it?
It is. So many flowers, beautiful colour mix as well, and just incredible value for money because you're going to get 30 of them for $14.99 or $13.49 if you are one of our club members, because of course you get that extra 10% discount.
I think it is just so nice to see the real thing though, and if you're thinking, oh, hang on, do they really flower that much? Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Now we've also got our wallflower collection for you right now. They're tutti frutti.
Yeah.
What are these?
The mix of colour that you get with this, they're the really sort of hot, fiery colours because you've got the reds and the oranges and the yellows and some kind of deeper purpley burgundy colours as well. And I know there's a few flowers on here right now, but you might get a few flowers now, but really their flowering time is between March and April and into May next year. And these have been bred specifically for their vigour and slightly longer flowering season than other varieties.
And what I love about wallflowers is that you do still get great foliage in the winter. The foliage is really tough, it looks really nice. But also, they do tend to self-seed, and you sometimes get them growing in the most remarkable places. And because I live in a little village and there's lots of stone walls and things, you sometimes see wallflowers, and hence the name wallflower. They do grow out of walls. The poorest little areas they can sometimes thrive in, but they're going to give that an incredible display of really warm, vibrant, bright colours. And we were saying earlier, you imagine these are going to be flowering at the same time as things like your tulips and your narcissus. They're going to look amazing, aren't they?
Really amazing, yeah, definitely.
Getting some big orders coming through, but we've got some amazing deals today.
Yeah, and this is another one of those amazing deals because you're actually going to get 3 of these plants. Now, we think this is one of the best when it comes to the displays that you can get from grasses planted in your garden, because this turns a blood red colour. Plant it in sunshine, that's how you get the best colour from this. It can cope with a part shady position. You'll still get some red, it just won't be as vivid and as beautiful. So definitely a sunny position. It's winter hardy, it's perennial, it's easy to look after, and right now it's an incredible price.
And we had some questions earlier about when do you cut them back. I would say springtime, March time. The new growth, it's really obvious. It'll come from the bottom. You get these lovely kind of really healthy looking green shoots. So any old foliage that looks a little bit tatty, just trim that right back in March time. And that value today, bear in mind you're going to get 3 of these, is incredible. And don't forget, they do flower in the summertime. Really nice, pretty kind of silvery flowers. But it's the red that is striking, really striking. They may arrive trimmed, so I've had a trim, by the way. Yeah, I do look better. I looked a bit sort of like, hamster face and grey and bushy the other day. But they might be trimmed back. That's not a problem. You want to plant them now and get them really well established for next year. But that's one of my, I think that's, of all the grasses we do, I think that's the most dramatic.
Yeah, definitely. It's that red colour.
Yeah.
But it's what you plant it with that's going to really make it stand out. That's going to really make the difference. All right, the most popular of the bulb packs so far, because we've got another few bulb packs coming up. But yeah, the most popular right now is the Frills and Spikes, the Tulip Parrot Mix, which if you were watching, was it last week or the week before when we had the Parrot Mix? We absolutely fell in love with this because look at how stunning that is. Oh, it's such a pretty, pretty flower. But then when you pair it with the Narcissus, the Rip Van Winkle, those spiky flowers that you get, I think that is a beautiful combination, isn't it? The frilly petals of the tulips and then the spiky petals of the Rip Van Winkle.
And the breeding that has taken place with bulbs over the past few years, again, has been incredible. And I know last year you planted, I mean, I got a little bit of envy because you planted lots of pots just of different varieties of tulips. So you didn't mix, did you? You did all the same variety in individual pots. And
but then I put all the pots together, so I was getting a bit of a mix going on. I loved them.
And they are, in fact, I've got my eye on those.
Yeah, a great mix. I mean, the parent mix are going to get to about 40 centimetres in height. The narcissus are going to get to about 15 centimetres. They're going to flower at a similar time. So I think you could plant them together. You don't have to, though, because they do come in separate bags. So you can plant them in however you want.
And I know sometimes, let's be honest with each other, sometimes you get that feeling, it's like, can I be bothered? I do sometimes.
No, I'm like,
no, can I be bothered? But it's always worth it because when those bulbs start to fly in spring and they just bring you so much joy, don't they?
Yeah.
It's always really, really rewarding. So and they're not, especially if you plant those in pots.
It doesn't take long at all.
It doesn't.
It's a nice, easy
and we have got pots on the show, by the way. Don't forget.
Yeah, coming up very soon. The other mix of bulbs that we've got for you is the Rock Garden Tulip Mix, and in here you are getting, how many varieties is it? I think it's seven, isn't it? Yeah, 7 different varieties of the tulips. You've got Lilac Wonder, you've got one called Lizzie, there's a Saxatilis lilac in there, there's the Sylvestris, which is that beautiful yellow colour in there, but these are nice shorter varieties of tulip as well. So tulips can get 40, 50 centimetres in height. These are pretty much going to stick at around the 20 centimetre, maybe one variety in there getting up to 30 centimetre, which is obviously why it's been called the Rock Garden Mix, because these would work perfectly in a rockery.
Yeah, and you are getting, say, 40 bulbs in total, which is incredible. I think I like them because they're not, when you look at them, you don't instantly go with some of them, oh, that's a tulip. Like that one there, for example.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit different, a little bit quirky, a little bit more, but that to me looks a bit like a lily. But they are all really compact. So great for smaller gardens, great for pots and containers, great for your hanging baskets. And yes, if you're lucky enough to have a rockery, they would look quite magical there, wouldn't they?
Definitely.
Really, yeah, like those. Oh, it's difficult today. My order's getting bigger. Because this is what we do, you see. Just like you at home, we kind of...
We talk ourselves into it, don't we? I want some of those.
But you know what? I never feel guilty buying plants. I really don't.
Nope.
I mean, I feel guilty buying... No, I don't feel guilty buying wine either. Stu's just said. No, sometimes I actually feel guilty buying clothes because I think, do I really need that?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't, Bex. Bex has got her eye on some boots at the moment. And how much are they? This is something ridiculous.
400 quid.
I mean,
I can't afford them. I'm not going to buy them. I've been looking at them for years and I love them, but it's just stupid money.
They'd have to have 90% off for you to buy.
It's true.
40 quid, you're like, yeah, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
But actually, gardening, it's a wonderful hobby, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I always think when you buy something from the show, it just doesn't just give you that instant pleasure. It gives you pleasure for many, many years to come. And there are plants that I've got in my garden that may be 15, 20 years old. My mum's got plants that are even older than that. And it's so rewarding, isn't it? But to give your plants the best start to life, you've got to invest in that premium professional compost. Never gone up in price since we started doing the show, which is incredible. I don't want to tempt fate, but you do wonder how long can we keep this price for?
I mean, everything's going up in price, but we have actually maintained the price of this compost, and it is the premium professional stuff. This is what we use at the nursery. It's packed with amazing ingredients and expensive ingredients as well. It has got peat in here. Let's cover that one initially straight away. Reduced amount of peat. So renewable sources, sphagnum moss peat, yes, that's renewable, that's fine. But other sources of peat, the dark and the white peat, we've really reduced the amount that we're using in here. We're still getting the amazing benefits, but it's minimum amounts, maximum results.
And actually, and again, we don't want to get political, because if you want to be peat-free, and we all do eventually, totally get it, but Peter, our head gardener, he came to my garden club, did a fabulous speech. It was really good. They loved him. They really did. It was amazing. But it was really interesting because the garden club, there was they all sat there when he started talking about peat-free versus peat compost. There was a bit of a but actually there is a bit of a counter argument because when you think about most peat-free compost have lots of coir in them.
Yes.
But where does coir come from? It's a byproduct of coconuts. Coconuts are grown, not here in the UK. You imagine, coconuts. Central South America, long distance. And mass planting is not good for the environment.
No.
But you imagine, huge areas full of coconuts, and then that byproduct of the coir has to come all the way over to the UK somehow. So there's a bit of an argument, a bit of a debate going on. We don't want to get, look, the choice is yours, but actually, yes, we'd all love to be peat-free eventually, but I think it's got to be a bit of a gradual change.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done with this. We're slowly but surely reducing that peat level, but making sure the ingredients we put in there more than compensate for that. And ingredients like this, Bex.
Yeah, so slow release fertiliser, the little green balls that you'll find dotted throughout the entire compost, that contains a fertiliser. The little shell just breaks down, releases the feed into the compost. The plants can then get hold of that feed as and when they need it, which is super important. I always forget to feed the plants on a regular basis, so at least I know when I plant them in here, they're going to get access to that feed, and it stays active for a good maybe 4 to 6 months. We've also got composted wood fibre in here, which is what gives it this lovely texture, and it's unlike any other compost I've ever used. It is light, it's airy, it gives room for roots to get in and grow. If they can grow, they can reach for their feed, they can reach for their nourishment, they can reach for their moisture, and they can form these really nice strong root structures. Strong roots, bigger plants, better plants, healthier plants, more fruits, more flowers, all of those things.
You've also got a pH buffer. Oh, those plants there, potted up last week. This is me doing the pub garden, and I have to say, I only really did the winter selections and bedding about 4 weeks ago, but it's just doing great already. But you can see there how fabulous the compost is, and yeah, whatever you're using it for, whether it's pots, containers. I always use it when I'm planting up perennials as well. I always put a bit around there, the roses that we had earlier, but it just gives plants the best start to life. There's also a pH buffer in there, so it's a perfect pH for virtually all plants apart from the acid loving ones, and there's a wetting agent, so if this ever dries out, it basically rehydrates very quickly. The water sticks to the compost. Stu said, well, it's not going to dry, it's not stop raining. Fair point, but you know what? Sometimes we get those really windy days and things can dry out very quickly in the winter. But it is such a brilliant compost. We grow everything on the nursery in it, and you're going to get 2 big bags for $22.48 if you're a club member. And actually, I think it's worth becoming a club member just for your compost. By the way, your free gift, even if you're just buying compost today, you are going to get the Ultimate Rose Bloom Booster, and that is worth $4.99. And that, it's not just for roses, it's for pretty much all of your shrubs, but that is worth $4.99 as well. Now, we've had some questions. What pots have we got on the show?
Yeah, well, we've fixed the problem with the Aprils, so no issue left on here. You can order these. It is a beautiful one. In actual fact, if you're going for our standard roses, then these would work perfectly, because once you get those planted in there and they start growing, obviously you need to go, because it's a double up deal, so you'd need to go for 2 double up deals here, but you'd have 4 pots the same for your 4 standard roses, and it would be the perfect size, the perfect depth as well for planting your roses in, and they would live their life in there very happily.
Now, I actually bought the green ones of these a few weeks ago for a mum, and they look stunning. I remember these arriving earlier on this season, and actually our head gardener just selected these, and they're not being funny, but on his travels he saw thousands of pots.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
I bet he had the best selection. I mean, it would be hard to whittle it down to the ones you want, wouldn't it?
But I think he chose really well with those.
I think he did.
They're very tasteful. I think they would suit any type of garden, because I can imagine them looking contemporary, but equally, my mum's got a country cottage garden. They look superb there. Great drainage.
Yeah, lovely drainage. The channels, so there's a slightly raised bit here, and you've got the channels here, which is important, because if that was completely flat, it's very difficult for any excess moisture to run away. But you can see how that's going to work there. It's got the reinforced bits around the rim here. So again, when you're picking it up and carrying it around, it's going to help it so that you don't crack and break it. Gorgeous design, absolutely wouldn't know they're plastic, UV stabilised, frost resistant, lasting you for many years.
And I won't mention my back again. I know I've milked it, but I did put my back out in the garden the other day by lifting heavy things. These are not heavy.
No.
Stu said, I thought it was my suitcase. I think the suitcase started my bad back and then it went when I actually tried to lift something heavy.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, they're really lightweight, UV resistant, frostproof, and they just look really classy. They look really elegant. I think that kind of stylised dahlia that you've got on there just really works. I love them. I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
So these are cute.
Yeah, so at the other end of the scale here, what we've got are smaller pots. We talked about these a lot in the sense that these are really easy for you to change over. So if you want to change seasonally, if you want to do a different display 4 times a year, spring, summer, autumn, winter, you can easily do that, and quite cost effectively, because it's not going to cost you lots of money to change this over. They are the smaller size, so it means that they're not going to take masses of compost in order to fill them. And of course, the plants that you put in, you don't need massive ones. It is a buy one, get 2 free as well. So again, a fantastic deal here. Got the drainage, even on this small pot, we've got the reinforcement under the rim there as well, which is incredible, isn't it?
And if you are a club member, what, £1.20 a pot?
Yeah, really
works
good.
out. And do you know, I was just thinking the rock garden tulips would be perfect for these.
They would, yeah,
because they only
absolutely.
grow to, I think it was 15, 20 centimetres. I'll be honest, I think the parrot tulips would be too tall.
I agree. But your Pentacool waves could work quite nicely in here.
They'd look
In
great.
fact, you could do just an entire pot with these, and what, 1, 2, 3, it's probably overplanting, but I'd probably put 5 in there and they'll just tumble over the edges.
That'd make a really big display.
You could probably get away with 3.
Yeah, well, 3 or 5.
But I would go 5 for
Yeah.
sure. This table needs fixing still. I'm going to break it at some point.
So yeah, best stuff on those. Back today, buy 1, get 2 free. The golden rule is, don't forget, you've got to put in our off code YGTV 4524. Some lovely ideas today. Right, we'd love it if you came to on the group chat. So YouTube, Facebook. If you've got any pictures, is anything weird that's flying in your garden right now that shouldn't be?
Dingo sent us a message actually.
Hello, Dingo.
I mean, nothing that's, mind you, right. Oh, we're going this one.
Oh, sorry. Going to the pink owl here.
He sent us a picture, and I feel like this shouldn't be.
This is Caribbean lilies.
I feel like these might be Caribbean. He hasn't said what they are.
They look like
But I
Caribbean
feel
lilies
like these
to
might
me.
be the Caribbean lilies that are really shooting.
Yeah, I think they are.
I mean, I did plant some finally. I did do those the other day, and they've already got a few shoots on anyway. But yeah, they do look like they could be Caribbean lilies. And
They're well
picture,
ahead.
the other picture he sent us is
There's the Nareen.
by his little turtle sanctuary there, and he's got the Nareens flowering.
Right, we need to get some more Nareens for next year, don't
Yeah,
we?
definitely. I like the Nareens. Love
we
it.
really do.
Thanks for your pictures.
Thank
Dingo.
you.
Much appreciated.
Right, we have got an Escalonia for you right now, the pink
pink
owl.
Love it.
Hang on. That's a really good price for the size of this.
It's such a good
Look at
price,
this.
yeah. It's in a 2-litre pot. It's multi-branched. It's still got flowers on, which is just insane. It's a nice compact plant. I mean, it can get, at full growth, it could probably get to about 4 feet height and spread. If you wanted to put it in a border, that'd be beautiful. But you could keep this in a pot quite happily, I think, because it will stay nice and compact for you. It's evergreen, it's glossy green evergreen, totally reliable. But those flowers that you're going to get are just stunning, aren't they?
They really are. I mean, and we did look at these on the nursery, and yes, some are still in flower, which is ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah.
But it's really pretty. Is it? I just want to smell it. Is it really?
I don't think there's much fragrance from it, no.
There's a little bit.
Is
just,
there?
Yeah, just try. It's very
light.
delicate. Very delicate.
Very delicate fragrance. It blooms for you in summertime, so it'll do it sort of midsummer, about June time, and then you might get a few flushes of it. But it sort of does it in summer, and then it does a second flourish for you in October time.
I was just a bit confused. It's like, well, it's November, but I think it.
I'll keep going.
Yeah, but it's a really lovely, very compact, desirable plant, and it is only $9.99. Right, yeah, lots of people saying about the weird and wonderful stuff that is shooting already in their gardens. Some things are flying early. Some Caribbean lilies are already in bud, I'm hearing. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Just roll with it. Roll with it. No, I planted mine, Stu. I did them the other day. No, I've still got lots to plant, but that is one job that I did do, because I kept saying I was going to do it, and I just saw the bag the other day, and I was like, you've got to go and do that. Go and do that, because you can't be... I just didn't want to be standing here next year and going, I didn't do it. So I've definitely done it.
I planted mine a couple of weeks ago as well. Right, sometimes, let's just put it out there, sometimes you can buy out of season and get a far better deal.
True.
So Acers, it's a lot of people would buy these in springtime, just as they're bursting back into foliage. And then you're going to enjoy them all summer. But if you buy them now, because these are going to lose their leaves, they might arrive even, you know, fairly bare of leaves. But if you buy them now, you can get 3 for £19.97, £6.66 each. They're
which is a great
£45.
price for an Acer.
Isn't it?
You know, don't you? Because you know how much they can cost quite a lot of money. You know, they're difficult to propagate, they're slow growing, and that's why they command a higher price point. But as Shaun's saying, yeah, buying them slightly out of season means that you are getting an incredible deal.
Yeah, and you've got 3 stunning ones here. You've got the Emerald Lace, you've got the Orange Dream, and the Atropurpureum as well.
Which is a really clever selection, actually, when you think about it, because you've got the different colours, but you've got the different leaf shapes as well. So Atropurpureum, for example, you've got the beautiful sort of darker burgundy, classic maple leafed sort of shape there. But then when you look at it next to the Emerald Dream,
really
which is the really finely, Emerald Lace, apologies. That's the really finely dissected leaves. That's the one that whenever I think of Acer, that's the one I really do think of.
I mean, that is really delicate looking, isn't it?
Beautiful.
And then the Orange Dream over that, which is actually just turning orange right now.
Yeah, which again has the slightly larger leaves, but then you get that festival of colour. And actually all Acers do tend to give us a beautiful festival of colour throughout their growing time, but also when their leaves start to drop. You've got a couple in there that have got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. I mean, I feel sorry for the Atropurpureum that doesn't have it, because it should have it. But yeah, the Emerald Lace and the other one both have the RHS Award of Garden Merit. So proven performers. You know how much I certainly love Acers. I know you've got several of them as well. You love them as much as I do.
I mean, I really do. But with my garden, the way it is, because some of you'll know, I live in the middle of the country, so most of the garden is really exposed. But I've got one side that's sheltered, and the Acers do great there. So just keep them away from strong winds. They hate wind.
Yeah,
they really do.
They're fully winter hardy. You don't need to worry about temperatures at all. There's 2 things they ask. Keep them somewhere sheltered and don't put them in direct sunlight.
No.
I mean, they like dappled shade is the perfect thing for them, really.
I always think with the plants, sometimes just by looking at the leaves you can tell, and they've got delicate leaves. So you imagine a strong wind would scorch them, strong sun would scorch them. But apart from that, they're very, very easy to grow. And say, the price today, it's not that it's out of season, because you may well still enjoy the autumn colours, but they will lose their leaves within the next few weeks, but you'll get all of that enjoyment next summer and for many years to come. That is an amazing price for those, actually.
Yeah, I love it.
It really is. If I didn't have Acers already, I'd be buying those.
Right, we're going to jump to the allium collection for you, because it's time, isn't it? We need to get these bulbs in the ground. There's still time, so don't worry. But we have actually given you an even better price on this one. It's £9.99 for 100 allium bulbs.
I didn't realise that. 10 pence a bulb.
Yeah. Yeah. For 7 different varieties, and they are amazing varieties as well. Like down here, we've got the purple sensation. That's your classic allium. We've got the drumsticks included in there as well, which are the latest flowering. We've got the lovely Nectaroscordum or Siculum, which have got these dangling, beautiful flowers on there. You've got the Christophi included, which are the bigger purple balls there. We've got mollies included. We've also got the Neapolitanums and
The Niagara.
Nigrum, thank you. I completely forgot the other name. So yeah, 7 varieties of alliums, flowering for quite a long time as well. Some of them are early spring. The allium spherocephalons, the drumsticks, are the later ones, sort of July and August time they'll flower for you.
And I've actually got, I'm not going to lie, but I've actually got some dried alliums in my conservatory right now, and they look incredible. But they're not mine. They were given to me by a friend.
All right.
Yeah, because hers were just better than mine. But they look amazing. They really, really do. Yeah. I've got a friend who's really creative, and she just dried them beautifully, so I did buy them. She did like little craft shows and things like that. Anyway, amazing value, still time to plant them. Yeah. And they're going to give you colour from, we sort of said, May right the way through to July. June, July. Even maybe
into August. Yeah. My spherocephalons didn't flower till August.
Really?
Yeah, they were right at the beginning of August. They started to flower, but they'll flower every year as well, because they are perennial, so they'll come back for you.
But we're clearing the stock of those today. So if you want them, grab them with both hands, put them in your basket. 10 pence a bulb, and they'll give you a huge amount of display. Right, we've also got our spring flying bulb collection. Have we dropped the price? Yes, we have. £12.99.
Okay. So yeah, this is the 300 bulb collection that we've got here.
There's that noise again.
Another one which is going to give you flowers for, it's 7 varieties and 7 months worth of colour, starting with the crocus in probably February time they'll come out, and then ending with
Yeah, the
Yeah,
alliums.
it'll be the Spiracephalon again, won't it? The alliums. But you're going to get flowers all the way through. You've got tulips, you've got narcissus, you've got allium mollies, you've got muscari. I do love a grape hyacinth.
Yeah, I do.
I love grape hyacinth. And the Iphions, which has got the 3 different colours. The wink.
Pink. There's a crocus.
The pink, the white, the blue. The Triumph tulips included too.
And do you know what I'm working out for club members? 4p a bulb.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 4p a bulb.
For some really incredible varieties as
I
well.
know. And if you've got pots, containers, just spend, these will arrive probably in the next few days because it's quite out of season at the moment. Just spend a few hours potting all these up in any pots, containers. Even if you've just got, you don't have to have like attractive pots, even just plastic standard pots, put them in there and then group them together in clumps and they'll look amazing, they really will. And what I tend to do, if I've got lots of bulbs that need planting, I just do it. I don't leave them sat in the greenhouse or the shed because you need to plant them. But I don't necessarily put all the pots out in prime positions. I'll sometimes just put them in the corner of the garden. And when they start to flower, as they start to look good, you start to position them where you can view them and enjoy them. That's really amazing, seriously. Have I got some new people in the chat, Bex, as well?
Oh, have
Thank
we?
you.
Hello.
Yes. And email as well.
Oh, yeah, everyone's talking about Caribbean lilies. Love it. Who's coming here? Oh, Julia. Hello, Julia.
Hello, Julia.
So Julia says, only a few of what I bought. Okay, so she's bought from us and she sent us some pictures. These are definitely Caribbean lilies.
They are.
I can tell. Those are Caribbean lilies.
With a bit of strulch by the looks of things.
With a bit of strulch in there as well. Are these bananas?
Yes.
They look like muses.
They are bananas.
Lovely, giving that a little bit of protection there. That must be an Acer, surely. Oh, I don't know.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
Maybe a bit. Oh, it's hard to say. But listen, you've got it. Oh, hang on, there's a label.
Go, your ass said have to
Tree.
be good.
That says tree, doesn't it? It's a tree. Love it.
I wonder if it's a toffee apple tree.
It could. Oh, it could be.
Could be, I don't know.
Oh, I love it that you've labelled.
Good that we are. We can't identify all twigs.
I'm not. Got some kind of. Hang on, what's this one?
I think it's passiflora, isn't it?
Passion. It's a passion
flower. Passiflora. I can tell by the leaves on that one.
I like that pot you've got there.
And they're definitely some of our pansies.
Love it. That's not an oleander. You've just used the oleander pot, haven't you? Love it. Oh, look, you've got your Phoenix canariensis there. What is that big white flower? I don't know what that flower is. Could be a clematis.
Could be. Yeah, it could be. It's like a small
Interesting.
flower. It could be.
Oh,
we
how
know
many
those.
Phoenix have you got going on? Oh, looking
That's
lovely
lovely
to
to
see.
see.
It's nice to see what you're all doing in your gardens. It's very nice.
It always warms my heart, doesn't it? It's lovely.
Yeah, I need to get back onto posting more pictures. I've kind of stopped posting on socials, but I will. I'll get back onto posting a few more.
I've not posted much recently, only because the garden doesn't look like great. Well, because I live in the country, there's just leaves everywhere at the moment. The fence is falling down. I did buy the new rake we've got, actually, and that has really helped with the leaves.
There's behind you there.
Yeah.
Spear and Jackson.
Yeah.
Great
It is.
rake.
Yeah, that is on our website. And honestly, I mean, I just get so many leaves living surrounded by trees, but that has been brilliant. It's on our website. There's a little video of it as well.
Oh, I've
Spear
lost
and
me poppy. Just realised my pin is sticking out. I'll find it in a sec. It's on the floor.
I'll find it.
Have you found
With
it?
my back being good, I'll get it for you, Bex.
Oh, I see. Thank you. There it is. Thank you very much.
We've also got for you a stunning rose. And actually, I say stunning. We had so many of you this summer, sending pictures of the oranges and lemons, Papagena. It's a really unusual rose because every single rose is actually different. And when I say different, you might say, well, actually, that's the same with any rose because no two roses will be truly identical. But these differ hugely. There's quite a dramatic difference between certain roses. Some will be pure orange, some will be pure lemon, many will be something in between. So some might be 92% yellow, some might be 55% orange, and it creates these incredible, exquisite, unique roses that are magical, that are eye-catching, and that to me is a showstopper. That looks really quite exotic, doesn't it?
Definitely a standout variety, isn't it? It's. I mean, I tend to look at all roses. I do find them quite beautiful, but that's really going to draw your attention, isn't it? You see that in somebody's garden, it'll make you stop and look. It is just beautiful. It is easy to look after as well. With all roses, you do tend to get gorgeous foliage to really highlight the flowers that come out there. It's just going to stand out, and that's what I really like about this one. I think if you wanted to keep this in a pot, you could. It's slightly more compact than other roses, so reaching about 3 feet high, a couple of feet spread, so you could keep this in a large pot quite happily. Just make sure that it's getting a decent amount of sun. All roses need a good 6 hours of direct sunlight in a day in order for them to give you those blooms.
And I would just have it by itself in a pot. Then I think it would stand out. With all different gardens, can put it wherever you want. Just quickly, by the way, it will arrive as a bare root. We have got potted roses on the show, but as a bare root, what you need to do, unwrap it, give it a good drink overnight, ideally, and then if you're planting it in a pot, what you need to do is sprinkle some of your Ultimate Rose Bloom Booster.
Yeah, it's your free gift
That's
today.
Free. There you go.
Just put some of that in the pot. It's an annual application, so you don't need to worry about constantly doing it, but it contains all the goodness that those roses need. It will really help them to get going.
And if you wonder how much to use, this is 100 grams. On average, we say 25 grams per rose. And any that's left over, you can use it to top dress and feed roses and some of your shrubs next year as well. Right, we have got, as we mentioned, we have got some potted roses at an incredible price today. And some of you have been asking, what about climbing roses? We have got some really, really wonderful climbers. Now, I haven't got any climbers in climbing roses in my new garden, but I do plan on getting some sort of wooden pergola, something like that, and having them climb up, because they do look incredible. And I mean, some of my friends have got metal arches, some of them have got trellises up walls, but when you see a rose climbing several metres up there, covered, it's incredible, isn't it? Should we start with the Compassion?
Yeah, let's do it. So this one is a Harkness rose, by the way.
Oh, yes.
And we know how amazing Harkness is. Multi-award winning, in business for over 180 years. No, they haven't used any pesticides since the 90s. They do what, 30,000 roses a year?
Yeah.
New ones? That's it. So to make a new rose, it's a process of 7-8 years or something or other in order to release a new rose. And what they do is they plant fields and fields and fields of them, and then they slowly whittle it down until you've got the best, the strongest, the most disease resistant. And that's such a long process to go through.
And I know Stu actually did some filming with Philip Harkness, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
But yeah, multi-award winning. I think the 25 gold awards at Chelsea. Their rose last year was the Chelsea Pensioner, and that was shortlisted again.
Amazing.
So they are incredible, and as Bex was saying, about 140 years experience. But this one is called Compassion. What a absolutely beautiful pink this is, isn't it?
I love it.
And there's a little bit of yellow as well.
Yeah, it's got these lovely sort of apricot-y yellow tones in the centre there. It is, I mean, it's quite an old one as well. This one was first released in 1973, so the fact that it's still available and still going strong, this one is an amazing one.
I'm trying to do the maths there. That's 51 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a long time that one's been going.
This one.
Lovely coral pink there on the edges. You've got the yellow highlights in the centre. Going to flower for ages as well, May right through to September. It's an award winner in that it's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit too. It's strong, it's healthy, it's reliable, and once you get this growing, this can be one of the taller ones. It can get to a good 4 metres. But again,
really? Oh, yeah,
it's one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
So do remember, whenever you're trying to get, and this is the same for anything that you're going to get to climb, don't get them to climb upwards, get them to go like this, because what you're doing by doing that is you're sort of restricting the restricting the sap. You're stressing the plant, so that means it feels like it has to struggle for survival, so it'll send out more shoots, which is going to give you more foliage and more flowers.
Yeah, a lot of plants, when they're stressed, that's when they're the best. That's when they do throw out more flowers, isn't it? I really like that one. So I'm not going to buy it today because I haven't got my wooden structure where it will be ready.
Wasn't it the lovely, Stu, do you remember the lovely lady who lives close to us? Wasn't it the Compassion rose that she sent us when she's got the archway and it's growing up and over? Oh, it was New Dawn, apologies. Okay.
That's another nice one.
It is another nice one.
But that, bear in mind, it's already grown and potted for $14.99 is incredible. I mean, you can get 2 today for the usual price of 1.
Yeah.
Normally, if you have got an archway or a structure, you normally put 1 at either side. Some people do 2 different roses. And that can work, but sometimes it's best to have the same rose either side, then you just get one amazing display. And roses, I just think roses give you so much. They flower for such a long time.
They're classic, they're timeless, they have meaning to them.
Who doesn't like a rose? I've never heard anyone say, oh, I don't like roses.
Oh, I hate roses.
No. Oh, I don't like them. No, it's a lovely rose. Don't know why I went all northern there. 530 571 14.99. If you are a club member, 13.49. It's a lot of rose. And then this one is new to me, the Dublin Bay.
Yeah, Dublin Bay, also known as the McDub rose, because it was bred by, I think it's McGready or McGreedy. So Mac and Dublin. McDub rose, there you go. So just in case you know it as that. But it is a beautiful red rose, climbing one, got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well. Repeat flowering all summer long, slightly shorter climber this one. So in contrast to the Compassion, which could get to a good 4 metres, we're talking maybe 2.5 to 3 metres once it gets to its ultimate growth here.
So maybe one that's better for a wall, for example,
maybe one that's better for a wall, trellis. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to think about weight. If it's going up the side of a house, you maybe want the more vigorous climber. If it's going on a wall or a trellis or over an archway, a slightly shorter climber. But yeah, a proven performer, award-winning, and another one that's going to give you flowers for such a long season. And of course, the classic red as well, which I adore with roses.
I think that's really, really striking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect. So again, arrives in the 3 litre pot, all the hard work's been done for you, ready to plant right away. And to make it a little bit easy, don't forget you are going to get your rose feed as your free gift today, as long as you use the offer code YGTV 4524. Right, what we're going to do, we've had a really busy show. I've only got about 45 minutes left. We've still got loads to show you. There's a few things we haven't gone to still, but then we are here. By the way, we are back on Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll start a bit earlier on a Sunday, so 9:30 till 12:30. So we will see you on Sunday again. But we are live till 1 o'clock. So if you've got any questions, anything maybe you want to see, maybe we showed something earlier and you want us to go back to it, we can do that. Of course we can.
Happy to do it, yeah, definitely.
But let's remind you of some of the things we've seen so far on, of course, YouGarden TV. So, really popular, Rose of the Year 2025. I think it's amazing that we've got this right now. So, yeah. This is good. This is the Rose of 2025, but we are very, very lucky to have stock of it right now. And she's a beauty. So pinks, whites, the stamens are incredible. The rose changes as it ages, so the flowers start off quite traditional in terms of shape, but then they gently open. You may get more sort of like ambers and yellows. And actually, just as the rose is about to drop, it looks a little bit like a wild rose. So an absolutely beautiful rose. Not too overpowering in terms of fragrance, but a really, really lovely kind of light, fruity fragrance, this one. It's called You're My Everything, so it's got a lovely name and sentiment, 540-281. Now, something that I think is really quite unusual, it's the bromeliad. And this is, it looks a little bit like, I think it's a bit like a cross between a grass and almost like a succulent when you look at the foliage, but it does produce these outstanding flowers, a little bit out of this world actually. Now I'm going to be really honest, I had this in my last garden, never flowered, but I just did not give it enough light. It was very healthy, but it just never ever flowered. So just make sure it gets enough nice sunlight to get it to flower in your garden. But when you look into that, it's quite incredible, isn't it? Those really lovely kind of blues, and then you've got greens and reds, very, very striking. So that is the bromeliad fascicularia bicolor hardy, 560-100. Then probably my favourite peony, it's called Bowl of Beauty. The deal today is incredible. It's 3 bare roots, but it's a buy one get one free. So you actually get 6 of these for $14.99. Now you could buy this in the springtime and spend that kind of money just on one, but to buy it as a bare root, you save so much. And it doesn't take too much doing in terms of growing this. All the plant instructions are on there, but just don't plant the bare root too deeply. If you ever do, you just get lots of foliage, not enough flowers. You may well get flowers next year, and they tend to flower kind of like May time, but do remember, it's going to be year 2, year 3 onwards where you get the big displays. And once it really establishes, you'll have so many peonies. I'm sure you'll be cutting them and bringing them inside as cut flowers as well. Main thing with peonies, they love a sunny position, well drained. They may need a bit of support. Some years, just depending on how big the flowers get, 580-006. And then we've got some fantastic climbing roses. Now this is the Paul's Scarlet. I mean, look at this. I just really adore climbing roses. And so I had them in my last garden, going to plant some in my new one, but they just give you huge displays, hundreds of roses all summer long. And when you get a climbing rose, it can just make such a difference to a wall, to a fence, to an archway. I think there's nothing more romantic actually just walking through an archway covered in roses. Often used at weddings, aren't they? I mean, sometimes faux arches covered in roses are used. So I think they're a real statement, but also there is something incredibly romantic about them as well. 530-578 for the climbing rose Paul's Scarlet. Then we just saw the Dublin Bay as well, which is 530-189, and again you've got a £15 saving. It will arrive potted, so it's in a 3-litre pot, ready for you to put out in your garden. And it's a really good time to plant roses right now. I mean, there's quite a few months so you can. The only time you can't really plant a rose is if it's, if the ground's frozen, if it's waterlogged, but you can plant roses most of the year. It's a really good month now. 530-189. Now the grass we've got on the show is called the Imperata, the red barren blood grass. It's a stunning grass. It's really quite dramatic. So in the summertime, the foliage goes from green to red. So the top foliage goes this incredible bright red. And then as we head to autumn, that red deepens, so it turns like more of a burgundy. It does flower, so you get these lovely kind of silvery flowers in the summertime. And it will grow very nicely in pots as well. Now the price today, it's I'm not being funny, it's ridiculous. You're actually saving £20. So you're going to get 3 of those. Club members, you get them for less than £3 each. So that is a really good deal. That's what we're going to highlight it on today's show. 560-017. And then we have got some really good deals on our Pansy Cool Wave. So these are a semi-trailing pansy. They are repeat flying. We say they fly for 10 months of the year, and that is not an exaggeration. They gently cascade, so great for baskets, great for the edge of maybe tubs and containers, raised beds. They just need deadheading, so as the flowers go over, just stop them producing seeds. Keep taking the dead flowers off. Give them a feed now and again. You don't need to overfeed them in winter, but start to kind of feed them a little bit more in the springtime. And don't forget, they kind of get exhausted when it gets to July and August. They've had enough. They've been flowering and flowering. But they won't die, they'll just die back. So if you want to keep them going the following year, just cut them down, put them in a slightly shady area, and then start feeding again in autumn, and you'll have them for many years to come. Then we've got our camellia fruit. Now this one is known as a Yuletide because it does flower November, December, January. And it's a big plant. We've checked these on the nursery, covered in really nice glossy foliage. They are, of course, evergreen, and the flowers are really spectacular. The stamens are really wonderful, actually. You get these big kind of proud yellow stamens surrounded by the red. So it does look very festive. And actually what I'd be tempted to do, I'd keep this in a pot, but I'd have it outside your front door maybe, Christmas time, and I'd maybe dress it up, add a few, I don't know, pine cones to the top of the planter, maybe put a ribbon around it, something like that, but it could look very festive indeed. 510-818 for the Camellia Yuletide there. Now, one of the best gardening essentials that we have got are heavy duty pots. I use these are mine. That's why they're a little bit, dirty and weathered, but I've had mine about 15 years and I use them all the time. So right now I have got, they're 2 Christmas trees from last year, and in a few weeks time, 1st of December, I will move those to a prime position where they'll be seen. I grew tomatoes. I've finished with obviously those now, but I grew tomatoes, peppers in those in my greenhouse, and they did so well. When I'm doing lots of gardening, which I'm always doing, then all of my tools were going there. So I had lots of things to do. I was going over to some of my borders. I took all my tools with me. That euonymus, don't know what to do with it, to be honest. So it's just stuck there at the moment. I will find a place for it at some point. And also, when I'm just doing any planting up and using our premium professional compost, I just fill my heavy duty pot. I just find it easier to work from the pot rather than to work from a bag. It just, I don't know, it's easier for me. It just makes me able to work a bit faster and a bit smarter. They are pretty much indestructible. I've never ever broken one. I've never known them to split, to crack. I've never ripped off a handle. And when my green bin is full, I've got a green bin that is only emptied every 2 weeks. Sometimes it gets full. Then what I do is I just store anything that needs to go in there in my heavy duty pots, and then when the green bin is emptied, I'll fill it up with those. So many uses. One of the best purchases I've ever made. And what I will say is, if you're trying to get your order to over £40 to get free delivery, then why not add some heavy duty pots in there as well? 130002 are just £12.99. Now, the deal of the week today is our Rose Patio Standard Collection. 4 bare roots, red, yellow, pink and white. They're in the first year, so next summer they will look like that. And I really, really mean that. It's amazing. And they don't look a lot when you get them. You've got a long stick basically with a few twigs on the end, but there is so much inside there that will allow you to get displays like this in the very, very first year. One of I think it's fair to say one of the best sellers that we've ever had at YouGarden. Truly phenomenal, and they are better than half price today, saving nearly £45, £5.30, £1.99. Now those are standard, some of the tall stems, but we've also got some bush roses. And these are, now this is really good. These are named varieties. So Queen Elizabeth, Pascali that we're looking at right now, which is the white rose. Again, award winning. That's one of the Rose of the Years actually. Then you have got here the Arthur Bell, again a very, very famous rose and one of the most beautiful yellow roses. All named varieties. This one is Queen Elizabeth Scarlet. Again, an absolutely divine rose, a proper scarlet colour to that. And then last but by no means least, this is a very important rose. It was given the name the Peace Rose to commemorate the end of the Second World War, to really celebrate peace. So 3 of those roses out of the 5 have been given the award of Rose of the Year. And also, some of those have got the RHS Award of Garden Merit. So, multi-award winning famous roses, 5 bare roots at £14.99. So that's 530011. I do think that's such a good deal on that one. I really, really do. I mean, so they're not just random roses that we've put together, they are award-winning roses. Bex has just been checking the chat. What?
I have. Everybody's chatting away to each other, which is really lovely. About Hardy's storm cloud it came.
I like the storm cloud.
But no growth, Stephen. No growth? Stephen, you're going to have to clarify what you're saying in the chat. I don't understand. Could you please type that again for me?
So was it arrived with no leaves,
but storm just... cloud it came. There were roots, but no growth. Which geranium that could be right because they are herbaceous. They go into dormancy. So as long as there's a good root system, it's really good to plant it right now because then it can concentrate and get its roots in. But just clarify for me what you mean.
But if you're not happy, just
get in touch.
Yeah, and we'll just we'll send you another. I'll be honest, I haven't checked the storm cloud on the nursery, so I don't know if they've all already died back or not.
Yeah, I mean I've got some storm cloud at home that I planted, and they have started to die. They have started to die down. So that could be the issue.
I mean, what I would say is, because don't forget they've got a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah.
I'd probably just wait till springtime, and if it doesn't then start to burst into foliage, then get in touch then and we'll replace it.
Definitely.
But that's what I'd do. I'd probably wait till then.
And then the other email is from me if we go to Arthur Bell, because I've sent myself some pictures of my Arthur Bell. Can we do it?
Yeah. Can I let you talk through while I nip to the loo, Bex? I've
Yeah,
got to be honest, I'm just doing this.
Just dancing around?
Yeah.
You do it.
Nice, Stu.
I'll chat about the Arthur Bell. Off you
Just
go.
turn the mic off, won't you?
Off you go. Right, yeah, a rose Arthur Bell. This is the first rose that I ever got into my collection. I've got about 8 or 9 different roses now, and this started my love affair with roses. I think it is absolutely beautiful. It's a gorgeous yellow rose. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. We are providing it today as a 3-litre potted rose. This one's still got some leaves on, but do remember they are deciduous, so it might drop its leaves fairly soon after you've got it, but don't worry about that. It's a great saving right now. It's half price at $14.99. It's perfect to get this planted into the ground or into pots right now, because then it can really get used to, get its roots established. It comes with your free gift, which is your ultimate rose bloom booster as well. So the perfect thing to put into the planting hole when you plant it, give it the perfect start in life. And then you are going to be delighted. And I've just sent a few pictures because this is my Arthur Bell rose. And these pictures have been taken, I am bragging, you're absolutely right. These pictures have been taken over the course of a couple of years, basically. So that is one of the Arthur Bell roses in full bloom, and I just love the colour. But you get a real journey with this, because this is how the buds start. So they start this lovely flamey red colour, and actually just little stripes of yellow and orange coming through there. And then once they open up, this is the kind of journey that you get. It's a floribunda, so you get clusters of roses, and they start that bright red cluster, and then they come out this gorgeous deep yellow shade, and as they age they go to a much paler yellow, as you can see on one side of the picture there. So actually you're getting such a journey when you plant an Arthur Bell, because you get these constant changes of colours that happen, and that is what I find absolutely stunning about this particular plant. It's a gorgeous one, honestly, and it started my love affair with roses, so it's always going to have a little bit of a special place for me.
Oh, it's nice to come back and be able to stand still.
I know.
I could hear most of that though. I could. Hopefully you didn't hear me.
No, I didn't hear you. It's fine.
Good. But you're right. It's a very special rose, that one.
I love it. I genuinely. It's disease resistant. It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It's super easy to look after, because I was always a bit nervous about roses, because there's rules for pruning, isn't there? Oh. And listen, you can follow the rules and it will help, but I didn't know what I was doing when I first got it, and I just chopped at it. And do you know what? It's beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful. It does do a lot of the work for you.
It does, and actually even on our own website we do say don't get too het up about pruning, but the golden rule, just use some really nice sharp secateurs. I remember when I first started to research Arthur Bell, I actually remember saying to Peter, I was like, so why do the roses all look different depending on, even on our website? But they do change, don't they?
They do,
so
yeah.
They start off really kind of
deep shade.
Yeah, and compact, and then as they age, they do produce that lovely creamy colour, don't they?
And it's lovely because you get so many. I'll have to take a picture of the full because I've only got individual pictures of certain roses, and I will take a full picture of when it's in full bloom next year, because you'll have those tightly packed red, almost red buds, and then you've got a bright yellow rose, and then you've got a creamy white one, and honestly, you get the whole journey on the whole plant, and it's fascinating.
But don't forget, you have got a choice. You can buy the Arthur Bell by itself, already potted and ready to go. But if you buy the Glamour collection,
it's in there.
It's in there.
Yeah.
With all the other ones. So the choice is yours. Yeah. It's up to you. But sometimes it is. For some people, it is. I know from a mum, she'd much prefer just to buy that, and she'd be able to pot that into something decorative, and it'd be done. But the choice is yours. But yeah, it's a really special rose, that one. Right, should we do a bit of magic, Bex?
Let's do it. Abracadabra.
What do you want to do?
I want to reach out and grab you. Sorry, I'll stop now.
Yeah, and I'll stop those shocking dance moves. So this is Abracadabra, but it is a magical rose. It's something very, very different. Again, rhymes as a bare root. You got a saving of £7.50. Bare roots are easy to grow, as we say. Just give them a good soak overnight. You've got all the help you need, because you are going to get your ultimate rose bloom booster as your free gift. That comes with every single purchase today. If you haven't got any roses, it's great for shrubs as well. But I just think this is a very unusual rose.
Yeah, this is wow factor, isn't it?
Like,
absolutely wow factor rose here. Because of those colours that you're getting, and they're a creamy yellow and a deep burgundy together. Oh, yes, please.
I do think burgundy and yellow really does work.
Yeah.
Really does. I was thinking kind of like rhubarb and custard. It really, really works. But again, every rose is slightly different.
Yeah, and it's a floribunda. You're going to get clusters of roses, and actually this can have quite a lot. You can get clusters of up to 7 roses here. So this one is very floriferous.
Lovely.
It's upright, it's bushy, and it's just wow. I just think that's got the wow factor, hasn't it?
And actually, I can honestly say, I have not seen that in any gardens. I don't have it myself.
I agree, yeah.
But I've never gone round to, and I've got lots of friends that are into the
Yeah.
gardening. I've never seen it. So it's a little bit unusual, a little bit different.
A little bit different.
Quite magical. 53316. And then I love the fact that we've got, say, some classics like Arthur Bell, but then a couple of really weird and wonderful ones.
Yeah, the black baccarat, which is, I mean, it's the deepest colour. It's almost black in certain lights, but then you do get these lovely reds and maroony colours coming through from this as well.
And actually sometimes a bit chocolatey, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. It's super easy, super beautiful. Oh, look, that's the shot, isn't it? That's
Isn't
the
it?
picture.
Ooh.
It is. It's got a velvety look to it, hasn't it? It looks like lush velvet dress or something.
It does. It does.
I love it.
And again, look at the structure of the rose. When you look at the centre there, it's just incredible.
It's a hybrid tea too, so you're going to get bigger flowers from a hybrid tea. Nice strong stems, lovely for cut flowers. I mean, that would be a gorgeous Valentine's rose, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Bit deep, dark, and moody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need a bunch. You could just give one of those.
I mean, sadly, it won't be flowering on Valentine's. Will it?
Yeah, that's why we have to buy them in, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why we have to buy
Yeah.
Valentine's
Well, actually, I
roses.
say that with climate change, you never know.
Well, you never know.
You don't know.
I mean, my Arthur Bell was flowering in December, so who knows?
Yeah, you don't know. But it will produce those really exquisite single-stemmed roses, and I mean, that would look great, we think, with the white rose as well, something like the iceberg. But it looks beautiful by itself. Yeah, really nice. 530-317. Now here at YouGarden, we're very well connected. You know,
We are very
we
well
are very well connected. I say we. Peter, our head gardener, he's really well known in the gardening world. He has gardened all his life since he was a child, and he really works with some of the top rose breeders across the UK, across the world. So we've actually got 2025 Rose of the Year right now. We've got it for you in
It's
November.
2024. How is that possible?
I think it's
It is,
thanks to Peter and the team.
I love it, honestly. Yeah, big thanks to Peter and the team, because we are ahead of the curve here. You can get hold of the Rose of the Year 2025 in November 2024, and that is super exciting. Gorgeous flower as well. I mean, I can see why this has won, because look at it.
Oh.
I mean, you just have to look at the beauty of that rose to understand why it's won it. But actually, there's a few things to tell you about with this one. It is a hybrid tea, so nice, large flowers, long, straight stems, perfect for cut flowers. But actually, there's something quite interesting with the foliage here as well, because the new foliage, and it's nice and bushy, it starts as a lovely warm red and then matures to a glossy green. So I know it can be very tempting just to look at the roses, but it's the backdrop, isn't it, that makes something stand out. And the backdrop to your roses is that foliage.
The more I see this, I think the more beautiful it gets.
Yeah, I agree.
And to me, you've got a little bit of kind of like shabby chic. You've got a little bit of as it ages, a wild rose look. But at the same time, there you go. I love that image there. So that's probably just as the petals are about to drop. So yeah, just about ready for all those pollinators there. But look at it a little bit more closed as the rose is a bit younger. It's just incredible. And you were saying, Bex, I mean, we haven't smelt this rose because obviously it's brand new, and we weren't there when it got given the award of Rose 2025, but the fragrance...
It's described as a light, fruity fragrance. So, I mean, look, I'm all about strong fragrance, but I love all rose fragrances. I think they're really, really gorgeous. But if you're averse to the really strongly scented roses, this one is described as a light, fruity fragrance.
Yeah, I don't like to be overpowered. My mum had a perfume on the other day and it nearly knocked me out. The driver's like,
all right. Which for your nose, it must have been really strong.
It was as
You
well.
don't have a strong sense of smell.
I don't. It was a bit powerful. Sorry, Mum, if you're watching. So it rises a berry. I mean, you are going to be some of the first in the UK to get this. I was just having a trip down memory lane. I mean, we've actually had over the years many, many world's firsts with YouGarden, haven't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
And we have launched new varieties, new breeds, and this is brand new. You're one of the very first. So it rises a berry root. It will be wrapped, and the best thing to do is actually to unwrap it straight away and to give it a drink. And
well, go on, tell the story of that rose that you left.
So this is
not a recommendation.
Actually, it wasn't one rose, it was a pack of roses.
It's not a recommendation, but...
So I honestly left, there were 5 roses, it was one of our packs that we do. I left them in a bucket of water. It was months. It was honestly months. To be fair, I did change the water. So I did, because it did get ever slightly stagnant. And when I finally planted the roses, and they had been there like at least a couple of months, they just went crazy.
I bet they did. They were just like raring to go.
Yeah, they'd survived in a bucket of water for about 8 weeks, and then suddenly I put them in the ground, and within a couple of weeks, the amount of growth and the flower, and they then started to flower, I would say, within 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So they'd obviously just held on and gone, finally you've given me a home. And it's not because I'm a lazy gardener, bad gardener, but I do look after, I've got a really big garden. I look after the pub garden in the village, my mum's garden, and I work, of course, as well. But ideally,
soak them for a few hours, maybe 4 hours, maybe overnight would be a good one, and then plant them out into your chosen location. Nice sunny spot, somewhere where they're going to get a good 6 hours of direct sunlight in a day, and you are going to be delighted with the amount of flowers that you will get next year. I mean, obviously it'll get bigger and better over the years, you know, and it'll reach its ultimate growth probably within about 4 or 5 years, and then you're going to get so many flowers on there.
Yeah, but it's new, it's exciting, it's already Rose of the Year for 2025.
Yeah, and weirdly, we're doing that at the same price as the bare roots, which is bizarre, to be perfectly honest.
And actually, stay watching next year. We can't give too much away, but we also do, of course, work with Heartless Roses, and we've got many of their roses on our website, and we have got some big named roses coming up next year, haven't we? Yeah, we can't tell you.
We're not allowed to say.
One's got a royal connection, we know that much. One is connected to a very famous singer, but that's all we can say.
Exciting.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. So Stu's ahead of it. Did you know that one?
No, I didn't know that one.
No.
There's another one.
Yeah, so stay watching, and we have got some exclusive world first with Heartless Roses coming up next year.
Oh, if it's that one, which she's just said in my ear, that's one of my favourite people.
I missed that.
So if I don't get to...
Anyway.
Okay.
We'll have to wait and see, won't we? I know some of the roses are named after such big celebrities, I very much doubt they'd be in the potting shed.
Yeah, we had Greg Wallace. He's a big name.
He is a big name. Yeah, so Greg Wallace, by the way, he's got an autistic son called Sid, and he's got a lovely rose named after Sid. Little Sid, yeah, so he came in. Who else we had? Dave the Plant Man.
Dave the Plant Man.
Yeah.
He's a proper celeb, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sean Ryan, presenter and Plant Man. He's a celebrity.
Yeah. Who else we had? Dan was in, Dan Bancroft.
Dan, yeah.
Yeah. I'd class him a minor celebrity.
All right, we're stretching now, aren't we?
Okay. But you know what? Does it matter? Because you got me, you got Bex.
Exactly.
And we've got you lovely
what
gardeners.
What more do we need?
Yeah, real garden community. Right, we've got to move on to our Hardy Rock Garden tulips. Just really quickly, these are miniature tulips, 15 centimetres, maybe 20 max. Really incredible varieties, 7 of them. And they're unusual, these. Bit quirky, aren't they?
Absolutely, and it's a buy one, get one free. So you just have to get that item number 600433, put one of those in your basket, enter the offer code YGTV4524. We'll put another bag of 20 bulbs in there free of charge. Perfect time for planting tulips out right now. So please don't think that we've missed the boat. You absolutely haven't. Get these in the ground, and in springtime next year, they will be delighting you. And of course, you know, if you leave them, if you allow the flowers and the foliage to die back down into the bulb, you should get displays in subsequent years as well.
Do you know what? I think I'm very tempted with those. I'm definitely going for the tulip. We're calling this frills and spikes. It's a tulip and narcissus. So you've got the parrot tulips and you've got the Rip Van Winkle narcissus. I just think this is a really, really unusual variety. Did you? So you didn't grow the parrot one last year, did you?
I did not grow the parrot one last year, and I kept saying I'm going to buy those, and I did that thing where I go, yeah, I'm going to buy it, and forget to put it in my basket. So at least I've still got the opportunity to get hold of the parrot mix, because these are going to be fantastic, aren't they? I mean, I've already got like 700 bulbs to plant, but why not add another pack of 45 in? I can cope with that. These are stunning. These are stunning. And we put the two of them together, which is going to be a perfect combination.
And can I just say, a lot of the really exotic tulips, you get kind of packs of 5 of them. I know the garden centres, packs of 5. At my supermarket, I live near it's a posh supermarket, but some of their tulips, it was packs of 5, and you were talking about $7.99 sometimes, $6.99.
And they're never good quality. Well, not never good quality, but you did it. You went into one of the sheds recently. Gave them they're squishy.
To be fair, the posh supermarket, they did look good quality, but the shed,
not so much.
They're excellent quality, firm bulbs, really good size, and 45 in total. Then this is the best deal that we've seen for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it could be the best deal ever, actually, on our Red Baron bloodgrass, the Imperata. Matches the best deal that we've ever done. 3 of these, $9.99. And I think, we love some of the ornamental grasses that are available right now, but the blood grass is really striking, isn't it?
It's such a bright red colour, and this is why grasses are going through a bit of a resurgence, aren't they? Over the last couple of years, people have started using these again, and not just for low maintenance gardens, actually to provide contrast and structure amongst the other plants in your garden. Put this in a sunny spot, that's where you're going to get the best colour, the bright red colour. At this time of year, they're going more deeper, sort of burgundy shade, and they can cope with a part shade position. If that's the only place you've got to put them, then they will be absolutely fine. The colour just won't be quite as vivid. So if you can, I would definitely put this in a sunny spot. Winter hardy, super easy, very low maintenance. Give them a little trim down, probably late February, early March, and they're just going to delight you year after year.
And there's a bit of a rule with gardening that you want at least 70% of your garden to be low maintenance. If it's all high maintenance, it just is exhausting, and these are really low maintenance. So bear that in mind. Just by adding these to your garden, it's not lots of extra work, but it will give you so much vibrant colour. They do flower as well, little sort of silvery flowers in the summertime, but they are predominantly grown for that absolutely incredible vibrant foliage. Really good value in those. And then we have got our Tutti Frutti.
The wallflowers.
Wallflowers. Colour-wise, these are really nice, aren't they?
Yeah, really fiery colours. You've got the yellows, the reds, the oranges. There's some deeper burgundy colours in there as well. So lovely fiery colours here. Going to bloom for you springtime, so between March and May next year. But actually, these have been bred specifically. They're a hybrid variety to give you stronger growth, improved vigour, and that longer flowering season. You love wallflowers, don't you? You've planted these for years.
And what I love about them is that they typically self-seed. So I know I had a whole area just outside my garage with wallflowers, and I was about to do some weeding. Then I sort of thought, hang on, there's loads of little baby ones.
Yeah, so leave them alone.
Yeah. So they also crop up in lovely places. My mum's got an old stone wall because she lives in the middle of our village, and loads of wallflowers just appeared out of nowhere. And it is because they self-seed. The seeds get blown around. Fragrance-wise, they are really incredible too.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about them, isn't it? Not only have you got the shades, the gorgeous colours, the compact growth reaching about 30 centimetres high, so really good for planting in different places, but you've then got that fragrance to add into the mix too.
And it is a buy one, get one free. The other thing I like about these, you get that really nice foliage also the winter as well. And it just tends to be quite resilient. So even when it's really kind of frosty and cold and wet, you've still got really nice kind of dense green foliage, and then all of those pops of colour in springtime as well. And then finally over here, look, if you're going to buy one type of pansy, we're going to say pansy cool wave, yeah?
Every single time. Every single time we'll say pansy cool wave. This is the pansy cool wave that's got the yellow mix included in there as well. So this is a really clever combination because they do work gorgeously together. Every single one of those colours kind of just makes each one of the other ones stand out and pop, and you get hundreds of flowers. This is some that have been planted and grown on a little bit, but this is the display that you could be getting in your garden.
That is impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, really impressive. And all you need to do is plant them, water them, maybe a little feed, and a bit of deadheading.
Do you know what? I've just started to try and count the amount of flowers on that, and there are hundreds.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are several plants in there, of course, but there are hundreds and hundreds of flowers, and you are getting 30 plants for $14.99. The size of the flowers, it is a pansy, but it's a smaller pansy, so it's not as big as something like the Pansy Matrix, but they are bigger than violas. They're kind of in between, but you get so many more of them, and they're going to flower and flower and flower all through the winter, the spring, and early summertime. To get the deal, just use that off code YGTV4524, and that is 400,967. I want
everyone. One little flower. That's a proper happy one as well.
Yeah.
That's not a grumpy face one. It's the happy one.
No, this is like, I'm first. Look.
Happy little flower.
Yeah.
Look.
But the others will not be far behind. I planted mine about 4 weeks ago, and they've doubled in size, and they are covered in buds. Do you know they are hardy to I think Bex said it's a minus 20 or so. So even if the winter is hideously cold, your pansies will survive. And don't worry if you wake up in the morning and suddenly they're all kind of frozen rock solid and limp as anything. They're kind of like, they'd literally on a really frosty day, they will just do that basically, and they'll be frozen. But the moment the frosts kind of thaw, they just burst back. So.
Yeah. Nice and easy, honestly.
Yeah.
One of the most simple, but one of the most rewarding with the amount of flowers and the length of the flowering season. Very, very good choice, and of course, an amazing deal for you at the moment.
Choice.
Buy one,
like
get
that.
2 free. So you're going to buy 10 and get 20 free. That's just bonkers.
Now, if you've got any final comments, pictures, so we're live until about 1 o'clock, and then Bex and I are both back together Sunday morning. 9:30. It's a bit of an early start on Sunday, so we do look a bit rough. Bear with us. Well, I do anyway. We're live Sunday morning, 9:30 to 12:30.
Oh, Ruth said she did your bulb test in the supermarket the other day.
And Ruth?
Some of them were squishy and smelly.
Yeah. You sometimes, and I've done it myself, Ruth. I buy most of my plants from YouGarden, of course, but occasionally I've gone to the supermarket and you say, oh, they look good. And then... especially if you can feel the bulbs if they're in a net, and when if half of them are squishy or soft or smelly, they're just going to rot. And actually, what sometimes happens if you plant any of those with good bulbs, sometimes it kind of almost like makes the other ones go bad as well. What she said?
I love it. She says, you guys have spoilt it for me now. I was in the supermarket smelling and squishing bulb bags, and yes, some smelled and had rotten bulbs.
Was everyone looking at you, Ruth?
What are you doing? Just squeezing all the bags. You should do, though. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, something that... And again, I mean... We always show it here, but...
Try and show the roots.
Yeah. I mean, garden centres don't like it when you do it, but we always like to show the roots.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this one, look, there you go. We always do that when we can. Anyway, we're going to talk about... Made a right? Oh, God. Hang on, Bex, I
made a right mess. I'm going to stop.
Right, should we talk about that hydrangea? So, what, did you want to see that, Stu? Go on, do it again, Bex.
All right, let me... It's not falling out the bottom, it's falling out the top. Let me try and get my hand across it so I'm not...
God.
I mean, we're in the potting shed. It doesn't really matter, does it?
There.
So there, look. You can see how rooty that is. You haven't got loads of...
And actually, look, can you show the bottom, Bex? Look at that. Yeah. There you go. All the roots right down there.
Yeah, and can you... Oh,
so that's a well-established hydrangea.
See on that side, look. You can see little green balls.
Oh, yeah.
That's our compost. You see little green balls in it?
I love that camera. Believe us, there's nothing worse than a camera right in your face, isn't there?
Used to it now. Whatever. Right, made a mess. Hydrangea Magical Matterhorn.
So I'm really sorry at home. I am sorry to give you that nasty shock. We were playing that in Stu. Did you just spill your cup of tea? Did you just drop your sandwich? But let's talk about something that does love close-up shots, and it is our Hydrangea Magical Matterhorn. This is ready for its close-up, and next summer it really will, because it is the most beautiful hydrangea. There is so much to say about this one.
So much. First of all, it's a compact hydrangea, but you still get incredibly large flowers on here and loads of them. Tall, upstanding, outstanding plumes of these panicles of green and white flowers on here. Great for cut flowers. Absolutely brilliant if you want to cut stems of these and bring them indoors, but also fantastic just to leave them on the plant. And they will flower for ages as well. Right in the height of summer, June, July, August into September, you will have amazing flowers on here.
And this variety, I mean, every single stem can have flowers on it. And,
Yeah.
and when you look at the individual stems, hundreds of flowers on there, this lovely kind of paniculata shape. Hydrangeas are easy to grow. There's always just a couple of rules, really. You never want to let them dry out. If you let them dry out, they can literally look very, very sick overnight. If you seriously, the moment they dry out completely, they just totally flop. You can revive them, but it can kind of put them back a bit. And I don't think they want too much direct sun. I think dappled is better, a bit of sun, but not really, really bright sun in the midday and early afternoon. But apart from that, they're easy, aren't they?
Yeah, super easy and really well suited to our British weather.
Yeah, but that at that price should be £30 is incredible. Then the bromeliad, I had this in my last garden as mentioned, but it never flowered. But I had mine in quite a shady spot. But I loved the foliage, but I want mine to flower now.
Yeah, the trick definitely is to put it in a really nice sunny spot. It's pretty hardy. We say probably down to about -5, so most areas of the country fine, but bear in mind where you live. If you're expecting any colder temperatures, you might need to give it just a bit of extra winter protection, in which case it might be perfect to keep in a pot. It's actually drought tolerant as well, and you can tell that, can't you, by looking at it?
So it looks a little bit succulenty, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's going to be able to cope with a bit of drought, and of course it's a really well-established one. So to be honest, plant it, leave it, and enjoy those flowers when they come through. The flowers, by the way, will come out sort of anywhere between June and October. So that's what you should be expecting from yours. Just make sure you get it in a nice sunny spot.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of getting, because I left mine in my last garden, but I'm thinking of buying some, putting them in pots in my kind of Mediterranean area. So imagine these in pots around a palm tree.
Yeah, perfect.
Great, wouldn't they?
Perfect.
Really lovely. Then we have got our Escallonia, which is known as pink owl, which is evergreen. So you've got lovely foliage all year round. Normally flowers more summertime, but we've still got flowers on some of ours.
Yeah, well, so you normally get a couple of flushes of flowers from this. It'll bloom for you in summertime, June, July time, but you do get a second flush of flowers that tends to happen in around October. Of course, it's been a nice mild October and November, so we're still getting some gorgeous flowers on here. I love the fact that it's evergreen. This is one of my favourite things about it. I've got lots of deciduous plants in my garden, so I need to make sure I'm mixing in some evergreens. So that might be the same case in your garden. You'll always have that foliage to look at. And
Escallonias, I think they grow quite neatly in general. They're quite compact. They don't get too leggy. I was looking at my Budley the other day thinking, should I really keep that? But it's great for the butterflies. But that, I think, is a lot neater, isn't it?
Definitely. Reliable, floriferous, great for pollinators. Got the Royal Horticultural Society badge, which says it's perfect for pollinators, actually. So it's an all-round winner, that one.
Yeah, it really is. And only £9.99. Quite a delicate fragrance, those flowers, but really nice. Then we have got, something that, in terms of fragrance, I'll be honest, it does knock the socks off that one.
Yeah, it will do, yeah, for sure.
It's our Philadelphia Snowbell, the mock orange. You get 3 of these. The value is amazing today, $7.49. If you are a club member, you get 10% off, $6.74, working out $2.25.
Yeah, 3 9-centimetre pots. So we know planting in 3s can be a really beautiful way of getting a natural look in our gardens. It's not fussy on soil type, this one, but it is going to give you so many flowers right in the height of summer, June and July time. Double ruffled petals that you're getting on there, and the fragrance is divine. Known as mock orange because it has a sweet citrus scent to it.
They're really, the white against the dark green leaves.
Yeah, that's really stand out, isn't it? That rich green foliage.
I think that's really classy, don't you?
Definitely.
Oh, gorgeous. And that is 510 522, £7.49, $6.74 if you are a club member. And then we have been so busy for Rose of the Year 2025. It is impressive that we've got this right now, isn't it?
It's so impressive.
Oh,
I'm so pleased that we are stealing a march on everybody else and we've got this available. It comes to you as a bare root, and we know that buying bare root is the way that you save the most money. But to be perfectly honest, to bring you the Rose of the Year 2025, we could probably charge full price for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could, we don't have to discount this, but this is exactly what we do at YGTV. It's a big thank you to all of our wonderful viewers. Thank you so much. Yes, you can get hold of this Rose, You're My Everything.
And I would not be surprised if the really big garden centres have this next year.
Yeah.
And they'll have them potted up and they'll have them in full flower and they will be charging a premium price. And they'll have a big sign there saying Rose of the Year.
Yep.
But you can get it now for only $14.99. And the great thing is, look, you are getting everything you need to give it the best start to life. So it's already been really well bred, really well grown, but you get the Ultimate Rose Bloom Booster, and that's got everything in there, including mycorrhizal. So when you plant this, sprinkle about a quarter of the bag into the potting hole, and that will give it the best start, all the nutrients to really, really get it growing quickly and giving you fantastic blooms in its very first year.
It's a hybrid tea as well.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
get those lovely straight stems, which is perfect for cut flowers. It's a slightly more compact growth on it as well. So about 3 feet by 2 feet is what you're going to get from here, 90 by 60 centimetres. So it means if you want to plant it out into borders and part of your rose garden, go for it. But it also means that you would be able to keep this in a pot more easily than you would some of the more vigorous varieties.
And I am really intrigued by the yellow tones. You've got like, you look at this first of all, you go, oh yeah, pink and white. But then when you look more closely, there's that warm glow in the centre.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a really attractive rose. Well, you can see it, look, I'm not being funny. It's not going to be a mediocre rose, is it? It's not going to be like one that you walk past if it's been given the accolade of Rose of the Year 2025. Now, we are nearly out of time. Just a few reminders.
Yes.
To get all the deals, you need to use the code on the screen, YGTV4524. If you maybe just found us, you can watch any of the previous shows. They're on YouTube. So we've got about the last 3 weeks' shows that you can still order from, but older shows are there if you want to watch them as well. Everything is also on our website. If you go to YouGarden TV, there's the logo there. That's a head gardener, Peter, by the way. And there you go, there's Sunday's show. I wasn't very good on Sunday, I had a bad back. There's Adam, he's one of our other garden experts. He's got many awards to his name, won many awards at Chelsea. And there's Bex's rainbow jumper on that other one.
I like a rainbow jumper.
I like that one as well.
Oh, there's an error.
Oh, I don't know what that was.
Oh, like, what do you mean, oops? I love that.
Oh dear.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Oh, I don't know what would do that.
I like it.
But you will get free postage if you get your order to over £40. You get free P&P, which is great. If you don't get to £40, we do cap it at $6.99.
Yeah.
That free gift comes with every separate order. So if you already placed an order this morning and then you're thinking, hang on, I need some compost, place a separate order for compost and you get another free gift. And that's not just for roses, it's for all of your shrubs as well.
Yeah, and it's an annual feed, so you actually need to apply it once. So either while you're planting the rose or as a top dressing for existing roses. But there's enough for 4 approximately in there. You could probably stretch it to 5, but there is enough for 4 roses in there.
But it's a really good free gift. I mean, we do sell, mycorrhizal by itself, but that is in your free gift today. So actually, you could use that when you're potting any, I would say, perennials or shrubs in your garden. You really could. But we'll leave you the details of our compost. Price is going to go up someday, but not yet. We haven't been told that it's going up, so don't panic. But $24.98 with postage included. It does smell great.
It smells so good, honestly. It releases some happy hormones into my brain, I tell you. It's lovely, packed with amazing ingredients. Your plants will live the best life in here. It's got a slow-release fertiliser. It's got composted wood fibre. It is the best on the market.
Yeah, and that's what everything that we've shown you that's been grown at the nursery has been grown in. So, my name's Shaun Ryan. Thank you so much.
I'm Bex Edwards. Thank you so much.
And we will be back live at 9:30 on Sunday. If you've got TikTok, we are live this afternoon with TikTok at 2 till 4 as well. So we'll see you then.